What's up? What's up? Good evening. Happy Tuesday, I guess it is. Boy, it's been a roller coaster getting here. I was definitely pretty hyped up to be streaming tonight. Earlier today, um, thinking about finally getting to play Batman Begins, which I'm pretty excited to play. Um, then around the time I was getting off work, I started having a bit of an annoying headache, and I was worried that I wasn't gonna feel up to it. Started getting a little better, and I figured, I was kind of close to deciding to just cancel it, but I figured, no, fuck it, I'll do it. When I was thinking about what I would do tonight if I wasn't gonna stream, I couldn't really come up with anything that I really wanted to do, so it's like, you know what, fuck it, let's just stream. And like seconds before starting up the stream, I was like, I should probably get the game up and running to make sure I don't have any weird hardware issues or anything by the time I go live. And wouldn't you know it, the game fucking didn't boot. I booted up the game and got past like a startup screen and maybe a load screen, and then just black. I was like, that's kind of weird. So I restarted my Xbox, booted the game up, didn't even get that far before the game gave me some sort of custom, not like system level, but like using the game's graphics, whatever, an error screen saying like, hey, I can't read this disc, buddy. There's something weird going on. So I got a little flustered, but had the idea to see if I could rip the disc onto the hard drive, and it appears that worked. So I'm relieved. I was able to boot the game off of the hard drive and got further than I did trying to play it from the disc. The disc copying software also reported 0 errors, although it definitely seemed to struggle with a few files. But everything seems to be working, so we are pretty much ready to go. However, before we get started on Batman Begins, I wanted to take a slight detour to show and talk about something that I have been talking about for quite a bit, and finally got around to setting up in at least some kind of early version. I'm sure we can make this look a little prettier and maybe add some more stuff to it. But what I have put together is a little bit of statistics regarding the rogues gallery of villains showing up in these Batman games. So what you're looking at right here is not perhaps the most exciting graphic, but let's just do this, and we can flip over to something slightly more visual. Hop over to the stats tab here, and boom, there we go. So looking at this, I definitely wish that I'd started this earlier, because it would have been a lot more fun and interesting to look at the way these kind of statistics develop over the course of history. Having said that, I do look forward to filling this out with each game that we play and see how it changes and what the kind of final tally is going to end up being. So what you're looking at right now is a list of every kind of named Batman villain to show up in any of these games. It's possible that I missed, the occasional cameo or something, but I've chosen to include everyone who shows up in the game in kind of a significant story or gameplay capacity. Mentions, without seeing anything, it's a bit of an edge case. There's also certain characters that, appear by name, but don't necessarily have that much in common with their comic book counterparts. Still, I count that as valid. Some of these characters do have some pretty wild reinterpretations in their game versions, so why not? Plus, it's just kind of fun to look at it that way. I hope this is readable on stream, by the way. If you're watching this on mobile, I apologize. I tried to make this as readable as possible without having to scroll around too much, but by all means, if this is awful, do give me feedback. I'll try to make it look prettier and easier to read in future installments. But what we're looking at here is the list, and they're listed in order of their first game appearance. And obviously the height of the columns here just represent the amount of games that they've shown up in. Unsurprisingly, Joker is both the first villain to appear and also, by far, the most frequent villain so far. I mean, I don't think that's going to change too much, but we'll see if, if he keeps this commanding a lead. And it's interesting to see when certain characters appear for the first time, and also like the frequency at which they start appearing once they've kind of made their debut. So the Penguin shows up. Funnily enough, actually, I should say that the Joker's first appearance is not in the first Batman game, as you might suspect, but actually in the second one. Hey, Carl, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Because the very first Batman game, the game just called Batman, the isometric platformer, doesn't feature any villains. Now, the story of the game is that Joker has kidnapped Robin, but that is never shown or I think even mentioned in the game itself. As far as the game is concerned, you're just Batman walking around hallways with, I don't know, weird Roombas and bulldogs and whatever else. Like, the Joker is not shown in the game at all. But in the second game, the Caped Crusader, there are like two separate sort of campaigns where the Joker is the villain in one and the Penguin is the villain of the other. The Penguin is a fairly frequently appearing villain. Him and Catwoman definitely have their numbers kind of boosted a little bit, you could say, from having like 8 appearances across a bunch of Batman Returns games. But that still counts. Killer Moth, Electrocutioner, and Firebug. Definitely, a little bit of an anomaly here. Otherwise, it's a pretty clear tapering curve where the most popular villains appear kind of early on and have kept appearing. But Killer Moth, Electrocutioner, and Firebug are bosses in the NES Batman game. Ostensibly, you wouldn't necessarily know it from playing it, but yeah, if you read the manual, they are named villains. I think technically, maybe I could be mistaken about this, but I want to say that even some of the like generic enemies in that game are named after Batman villains. But I thought that's maybe going a step too far. At least named bosses. I looked in the US manual. I know that the Japanese manual has a little more detail on enemy names and stuff. But in the US manual, only the bosses are named. But they are named, and they are Killer Moth, Electrocutioner, and Firebug. After that, like I mentioned, Catwoman shows up in a bunch of Batman Returns games, and I think that's her first appearance too. In fact, I can find out. Catwoman's first appearance was yes, the Batman Returns games. She's in all of them, unsurprisingly. Mr. Freeze kind of surprisingly takes a while to show up, but once he does, he's pretty damn popular. He shows up in not all, but almost all of the animated series-based games. And you can tell that all these, like the next chunk of villains on this list are all villains who were more or less regulars in animated series and animated series-based games. Poison Ivy, Riddler, Scarecrow, Two-Face, Mad Hatter making almost a surprising number of appearances, and less surprisingly, Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, by far, of course, the newest character out of all of these. She debuted on the animated series, but obviously became a very popular character very quickly. So, most of these other characters have been around since like the 50s, and still, like Riddler and Two-Face, for example, like they took a while to show up, but once they did, the animated series version of those characters were pretty popular, I think. So it makes sense that they would show up in most of those games. Rupert Thorne is a like crime boss who shows up in the Mega CD animated series game. If you want to get really, really technical, it's not actually Rupert Thorne, but Clayface pretending to be him. But I figure as far as the story goes, Batman believes that that's Rupert Thorne. He's presented to the audience as such, so I think it counts. Clayface himself, of course, shows up in a lot of those games, and we haven't seen the last of him either. Obviously, Clayface is a pretty like video game friendly villain because you can do all kinds of goofy shit with him, so it makes sense. Man-Bat appears in, I think it was the animated series Activity Center, or no, I think actually in the Cartoon Maker. There's like 2 little animated gifs of Man-Bat flying, and that's it. But it counts. It counts. Killer Croc, surprisingly frequent, I would say. I would not have expected so far Killer Croc to have been in 4 games and Ra's al Ghul only 2. And even then, Ra's al Ghul only shows up in the Activity Center for the animated series, and the second appearance was in Dark Tomorrow. Even the ventriloquist / Scarface has shown up more times. Bane, I believe, also a relatively new character compared to most of these other guys. I think he debuted in the 80s. I'm not exactly sure. But a pretty popular villain in the animated series and outside. So I know for a fact that we'll see more of him. Then we have a bunch of Batman Beyond villains who shows up in the 2 Batman Beyond games. And yeah, we're probably not going to see too much more of them. But they warrant inclusion, I would say. Firefly, Black Mask, Mr. Zsasz. Pretty much everyone on this list. Yeah, and Talia al Ghul, Ubu, and Ratcatcher. Ubu being Ra's al Ghul's like manservant, who was the second to last boss in Dark Tomorrow. And yeah, Dark Tomorrow has a bunch of relatively deep cuts, bringing back all these characters. But many of them we will for sure see again in one form or another. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lego games get, go with some real deep cuts and we'll see every single one of these characters again. But I also wouldn't be shocked if, Ratcatcher and Ubu, maybe not. Sinzu, I definitely don't expect to see again, but technically he got 2 games, so he's not the least frequent guy on this list. So that brings us to Batman Begins, where, based on the movie, we should expect to see Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow. I don't think the game really adds any major villains or characters that aren't in the movie, but to be honest, I don't really remember. So we'll play the game, and when we're done with it, we will check back in on this little spreadsheet, update the statistics, and see where that leaves us. So I just wanted to start off with this little look at the statistics of villain appearances so far. And from here on out, this is going to be a regular thing on these streams to check in and update this based on the latest games we've played. Hey there, Norip, what's up? Just looking at some villain stats here. But let's get that out of the way for now. And play the game. So let's boot this bad boy up. And bring up this, and let's do that. And hope that we don't have any more issues. This spreadsheet for now is not public. I might share it, but just with the nature of how it's set up, I wasn't. It's kind of a work in progress. So we'll take a look at it at the end of the stream, maybe. But otherwise, we'll check in more regularly as we go. Yes, unsurprisingly, Joker is the most frequent villain. Shared second place for now is the Penguin and Mr. Freeze at 13 appearances, Joker having 24. Right behind those are Poison Ivy and Catwoman at 12. Riddler at 10. Two-Face and Harley Quinn at 9. And then it starts kind of dropping off a bit. I did notice before, I think the game kind of automatically just moved forward there, but the game has a language select, and there actually is an option for Swedish. Definitely kind of unusual, but this, I don't know, I guess around this era that started becoming more common. Now, I would never choose to play in Swedish outside of the novelty of seeing how bad the translation is. But of course, for the sake of the stream, I would do it in English regardless. Well, the Penguin shows up in many games because of the Batman Returns movie game. You know, the movie had something like 6 games, and he being the main villain in the movie, he shows up in all of those. But you're right though in that most of his other appearances that isn't based on that movie, it's either in kind of more games that are a little more story and puzzle heavy, or he shows up in kind of a non-fist fight capacity. But he is a long-running and very well-known villain, so it's not surprising that he would show up fairly frequently. Headwound Yoda, thank you very much. All right, let's see what we got here. Vibration. Okay. I hate... I mean, I like having this option, but I hate not knowing what invert horizontal means. There's like invert vertical, you kind of know what it means, but horizontal camera controls can be done like either way. Either left, you know, moves the camera left so I look right, or left turns the camera left. And I don't know which one they consider inverted or not. Got yourself a Neo Geo Mini? That's cool. I was kind of tempted for a while to get one, but kind of decided against it because I figured it wouldn't. If you can believe it, I figured it wouldn't be practical. I didn't think I would actually get much use of it, but it's definitely a cool little thing. I guess I wish it would be more attractive to me if it wasn't. If it didn't have a screen and controls, because I don't know, the novelty of that is not worth the cost of it to me personally. No, I didn't get a chance to see one in person, but it is a cool little thing for sure. My impression of it was that the novelty value is not worth the cost, but having not played around with one in person, I guess I wouldn't know. Maybe it is. Bonus interviews, movie footage, alternate bat suits, Gallery of Fear. Let's just take a quick look here. I guess we have to unlock these. What a weird, goofy stance. Dark Knight. Yeah, we have to unlock them. World's Greatest Detective, Cape Crusader. Okay, so we got a few, like, comic-y. I guess this is like the 70s comic version, and this slightly more modern ones. Alright, that's cool. But presumably we're not going to get to try these before we beat the game, at which point it's not going to matter, but oh well. Yeah, I mean, hey, birthdays are for, you know, unnecessary but fun purchases. I hear you on that. There's a few different versions of them, but I think all of them had some pretty good good selection of games on them. All right. Let's, wait, we checked this all out. Okay, well, let's jump in. Easy, normal, challenging. We'll do normal. Okay, let's go Batman A. Game audio looks a little low on my end. I'll turn it up a little bit, but let me know if the balance is iffy.
Fear. Fear murdered my parents. On the far side of the world,
Dude, his parents
I
are
tasted
dead?
fear in its purest form.
It's crazy.
And thought I had conquered it. But fear followed me home.
I don't know why, but it feels like super novel to just see the live action movie footage. It's like, oh shit, that's cool. Especially like with actual good video quality.
Batman's coming.
These graphics are pretty good too, actually. It's kind of interesting to see because
He's real. Somebody tell Crane.
like it's the first game in a long time that kind of has more realistic visuals, and I mean it's a pretty big jump from like Batman and Robin on the PS1 to this. Press X to punch, Y to kick. Oh, okay. I thought it would stop again. I guess not. All right, wake up attack. I mean it's no Arkham, but pretty nice. Oh, he's like freaked out. Okay. Alright, so you use the D-pad to like switch final attack. Okay. Switch targets. Oh yeah, I got the like pulse meter. Okay, I think he wasn't gonna do much, but alright, let's brutally assault him anyway. Alright. I didn't think that one through. Oh!
We've got arson.
I've alerted the fire department, sir. You should be able to find an exit through any of the...
Not until I find Crane.
The camera controls are inverted. So you have to invert the inverted controls for them to be normal. Hey, 7SK, what's up, man? Oh, the verticals are even inverted. This game is, not doing a great first impression. There we go. Okay, now we can actually control the camera. Alright, I wanted to check on this guy, but I guess he despawned. Okay. There's a weird, like, acceleration on the camera controls. It's definitely small touches like that that just make the game feel kind of dated. Not to single this game out, of course, just like playing games of this vintage in general. It has a jump button. Like, you wouldn't necessarily expect that of a more modern game like this. Alright, we got a little picture-in-picture. Okay. We're going up. Nope, I guess not. Window time. Oh, the camera is... Oh, whoops, okay. A little finicky. Alright, we can go some boost boards, which I guess didn't really give us much, but hey, we're learning. It's a tutorial stage. Alright, sucks to be you. Alright, let's climb up. Alright, he's got some climbing swag. Okay. Man, there's like this kind of motion blur going on too. Like it's kind of nauseating. Okay. Data screen. There's right to view the notes and controls. Emails. Alright. The email icon indicates a new mission objective or note has been added. Search the burning building to find Dr. Crane. Ladders. Okay. Left trigger to center camera. Alright, okay. R to block. Batarang and gadget buttons. Okay. Click to cycle gadgets. That seems a little uncomfortable, but okay. Oh, okay. You can up and down to switch gadgets. Left, right, interactive highlight. Okay, well, that seems to move targets. Okay, we got no gadgets going on right here. Hey, Sting. Welcome, welcome. Optic? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we're some kind of crab, monkey, bat whenever we climb ladders. Alright, this is a neat little touch. You're joining us right here at the beginning. We've made it through a few small tutorials, that's it.
Leave him locked up while this place burns.
Hell yeah. Crane's got the poor bastard gassed out of his mind. Tear our lungs out if we took him off that chain. I say let him burn. What am I to Hey! Hey, friend.
That seems a little sadistic, but alright, okay. I mean, it's the Nolan Batman. I guess he would do something like that. Oh, okay. Well. Nope. Alright, block. Oh. Defense break. Final attack. Oh, you can do like a parry while blocking. Alright, so moving while blocking does a little roll. Counter. Alright, got him. Final attack. The combat's got some decent ideas, but it definitely feels a little clunky compared to more modern games. But you can definitely tell, like I said, there's some pretty decent ideas here. Okay, just rip that guy, I guess. It feels like a more modern approach to it than you know, the last couple of games we played.
This is the Batman's here. Double time it, you two. I want to be out of here now.
Going as fast as you can, careful with those matches.
Hey, hey! This place is already burning. This place is gonna blow.
Ouch. I think I... Can I... Alright, the controls are really weird there for some reason. Like, it seems to be like camera relative, so like you turn the camera just a slight bit and the controls kind of get a little stuck. It's a little weird. Wait, do I have new emails? Alright, let's get some health. So I need to like fucking empty my inbox here to remove the message I literally just see on screen. That's a little obnoxious, but okay. I mean, they're learning. At least we get a little tutorial quest log kind of thing. And it's, you know, it's funny, you know, they add just enough of these kind of modern conveniences for it to like feel a little more modern, a little more helpful. But they haven't quite nailed how those features should work, so they're all a little clunky.
Batman. Fascinating. I'd kill for a look inside your head. But luckily, I've got my patience to do that for me.
The characters look pretty good. Pretty good likenesses. Batman can perform special attacks during combat that will appear on B in the top right of the screen when available. Okay. Seemed like I was able to do some sort of multi-attack when I was between them. Why did he open the door before running away? I guess he should have like opened the door and seen me and then reacted and then run away. Oh man, fucking even running in a straight line is weirdly difficult in this game. Alright. Get owned. Oh nice. You could see when he faded away, you actually could see his face beneath the mask for a split second. Oh boy, motion blur was bad enough. I'm fine. Can I roll? Yep. Let's stop, drop, and roll. Would have been interesting to see the Dark Knight game that got cancelled. It's being made by Luxoflux. Yeah. I read about that a little bit when doing some research for this project.
It was the same fear.
Oh, that was a pretty cool transition.
Become.
Made me become bonus material. Okay, so probably a bunch of those bonus menus would have been like empty, where everything was locked. We've unlocked stuff, so we wouldn't even have been able to look at it before we started, probably. Makes sense, makes sense. And yeah, I saw today, or rather was reminded, that there was a PSP version of this game also planned, but it was cancelled. So Eurocom made this game, and Vicarious Visions made the GBA game, and I think they were also the developers of the PSP one. But I'm not sure if even any images of that exist. The Dark Knight game definitely has... I mean, I'm not sure if it ever like was announced and shown off in that sense, but in the time since, there have been images and I think even interviews and some details here and there surfaced. And I remember reading something about it being intended to have been some sort of more open world thing.
I caught a glimpse of something I've been looking for ever since. I lost myself in the world, searched in all the shadows.
I seek the means to fight injustice.
To manipulate the fears in others, you must first master your own. Are you ready to begin?
All right. It's not shockingly surprising that it would have been cancelled.
Raz Al Ghul says that if you want to be Death's journeyman, you cannot fear it. Ready or not, Death does not wait. Death is not considerate or fair. And make no mistake, in this chamber you are facing death.
Yeah, the characters look pretty good, I gotta say.
Ready to join the League of Shadows.
It's funny how the faces look pretty realistic, but everyone's got these very exaggerated movements. Like, that's a weird disconnect. Of course, the faces wouldn't have been able to do much like subtle emoting or everything, but it's definitely like a style of animation that's born of lower resolution graphics and stuff like that, where you need these movements to be pretty vivid for them to read. With kind of low detail models and rendering. Yeah, it's difficult to do stuff subtly. But yeah, it's kind of neat. Yeah, I think the likenesses are good, for sure. Like, you could... I mean, his hair kind of looks a little funny, but even here, like, it's a little blurry from a distance, but, like, you can tell that this is meant to be Christian Bale. I mean, maybe you wouldn't guess it just looking at it. I mean, yeah, from here, though. But, like, knowing that that's who it's supposed to be, like, it looks pretty good. I gotta say. But yeah, like, around, like, the late 2000s, like, big-budget console movie games were definitely starting to die out. I feel like something like The Dark Knight was right on the cusp. Like, not... it wouldn't have been a super weird thing looking back, but at the same time, it's not super weird that it didn't make it. It would have been cool, though, for sure. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'd like the look of this. Like, definitely a pretty big step up from the last couple of games.
Wayne. There was no space in the league for hesitation.
And even the voice performances, I think, are pretty decent. Like, a lot of the time, there's these movie games where some of the voice performances you can tell are really, really like phoned in. Not that I would say these are amazing, but obviously they fit well enough with like the characters, looking like the actors and having those voice performances. Scotty, what's up? Thanks for that, host. But yeah, a lot of these like lighting effects and stuff, like this is pretty... I mean, this is a late Xbox game. It's 2005. But I'm pretty impressed, I have to say.
You've already tempered your fists. I know you understand violence, but anger alone will not win your battles. The ninja is thought invisible, but invisibility is largely a matter of patience and distraction. Attack one of the three men before you. Show me you have the wisdom to be ruthless.
Risk Terrain 2, huh? Yep, that seems like the type of game you could lose yourself in, I'm sure. Yeah, like this. I mean, I think this is a really good, like, I'm surprised at how well this is aged. Like, this doesn't just... Alright, he's got the climbing style.
Wayne, if you run, you will be discovered easily.
Like,
Stealth is your
obviously it
greatest
doesn't look
ally.
hyper modern, but it looks good. I think it's, like, aesthetically nice to look at. And I think, like, even modern games, even, like, current gen or last gen games, a lot of the time when they try to be realistic, they're not very nice to look at. But this is, I already was in stealth
Enemies
mode,
with
alright.
weapons are the most dangerous. Always attack them first.
This doesn't look nearly as dull as it might or could have, for sure. Yeah, this is on original Xbox. This game was also on PS2 and GameCube. We're playing the Xbox version. Alright, so we want to take out Gunman first. Otherwise, he's going to fuck us up. Probably B for a stealth kill.
Excellent, Wayne.
Yeah, the animation
Destroy
definitely
the
kind of
strongest
stands
of
out,
your
doesn't it?
opponents first, and others will fear you and fall in the mercy you deny them. We'll carry on.
It's not bad, but it just it has a less realistic style than like most other aspects. I mean, even the lighting and the colors here is pretty kind of stylized, but it's still pretty realistic. Like all these shadows and everything. Like it looks. I'm very impressed with how this game looks, to be honest. I feel like this holds up way better than most games we've played in a while. Similar to Splinter Cell? Yeah, maybe. I haven't really played that game, but it's certainly not in a way that I would remember specifically how it looks.
The easiest path. This way is barred. Find another way through.
Alright.
There are more ways around
But,
the door than a key.
Okay. Climb some chains, rather. Like, I feel like most early, like, 360 games from not too long after this, would not look this nice. Stuff like this definitely date the game, too. I don't mind it. I think it's cool, but, like, yeah, this kind of double jump is so video gamey. It's a weird, but in my mind, quite welcome juxtaposition almost of like, yeah, it's the movie version. It's like realistic looking graphics, but it's still very video gamey. You know, the animations, you got a double jump and that kind of stuff. But it's nice. Like, you wouldn't see that in a game today.
Throwing weapons are a ninja's hand, not his fist. By them, a man alone may surround and confuse his enemies. Shuriken wait before you. Take them, and I will train you in their use.
Makes sense to have this section as kind of a tutorial too. I like it.
On the far side of those plains. Jitsu will make you invisible and immortal in the
Whoops.
minds of your enemies, but you will still be nothing but a man.
Alright, I guess we gotta jump from up here.
You cannot walk through flame, so find a way around.
Pretty nice of the game to just like, let's undo that. Oh, okay. Alright, I thought we were gonna like swing on the pole or something. But I guess it's not a pole, it's a beam. Context sensitive movement. Alright, cool. Exit.
Always mind your surroundings, Wayne. Every gift is a potential trap.
Okay, sure. Luckily, no spikes
Look around your
right beneath me.
environment for opportunities, Wayne. Your environment will only work to your advantage if you make it do so. Use the shuriken to create a path before you.
Alright, alright. Oh, okay, so the cross means out of range. Oh, the camera. Okay. Alright, left trigger to look forward. Wait, that's... Okay, I guess that's not the... What? Is it too far? I guess so, okay. There was a little gap there. Okay, we made it. We'll jump up.
What is the passphrase?
You can't enter there until you have completed one last challenge. Follow me.
Even the like mouth movements, obviously it's not like perfect lip sync or anything, but it doesn't look, he doesn't look like a Muppet or anything. Like it looks, even like opening his mouth when he's talking, looks reasonably natural.
In the room beyond, you'll find your next to final test, one of intimidation. The 3 ninja in the next chamber have been instructed, on pain of death, to keep the passphrase from you. Don't make your presence known until you've become a wraith in their minds. I've left you a gift in the room beyond. Use it to convince them you are more terrible than death. They'll give you the words.
I guess he becomes like really good at scaring people if he can make it work on these like trained League of Shadow assassins or whatever. All right. So let's find something scary or whatever.
Use the wires above to cross without alerting the men below.
Did Descartes tell you what to expect? Quiet. I don't trust Wayne. He's not one of us. There is a violence to him.
All the more reason for silence.
Use your environment, Wayne. Break the support cable with the shuriken. Show them fear.
The what now? No, drop the cage onto them. Camera, it's gonna be a thing, isn't it?
Wayne did that. He's out of his mind.
They can't like look up like this to see that I'm right there either.
Now, Wayne, they are ready. They are weak with fear. Finish them off.
Wait, let's check my email. Nope. Okay. Did he say they're super scared now? Well, yeah. So yeah, the PS2 and Xbox were in many ways roughly equivalent. The Xbox came out in 2001, the year after the PS2, but I mean the Xbox is undoubtedly more powerful, but that obviously most games wouldn't necessarily make use of that fact, so to speak. Like, oh, okay, I switch targets for whatever reason. Finish. Especially like multi-platform games.
You know what I want.
Oh, cool. This is the thing, right?
Don't. Descartes would kill me.
And I'll make you wish I would. What's the passphrase?
Please. It's Looking Glass. Don't tell Descartes I told you.
Choke slam. All right, that's cool. Using the environment to scare enemies will increase your reputation. The larger your reputation, the more fear you will create. I think this is a great mechanic. It's a little goofy in this context, but all right, respect meter up. But yeah, like obviously most games wouldn't necessarily, you know, if you're making a game for PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, tailor making it to make use of what might be more powerful on one system, like it's pretty difficult. Whereas Xbox exclusive games maybe could do it more frequently. But even so, I mean, obviously you got exclusives on PS2 and GameCube that look amazing as well. This is a pretty late era game though. 2005 was like right around, you know, the 360 was right around the corner. It came out in 2005. So, I mean, but this is a great looking game for that generation, I think. Especially, like I said, like trying to have this kind of realistic look. There are lots of great looking games on PS2 and GameCube, but, you know, as with anything where the technology is kind of limited, even today, you know, trying to replicate reality is not usually, in my opinion, the best way towards like a great looking or memorable looking game or like artistically pretty game. But this game managed to pull it off, I think.
What is this? I guard the explosives. They're safe, ready for your return to Gotham.
And yeah, I like that's one of the things I remember liking about this game too. Like it's very faithful to the movie,
Welcome, Wayne.
but also manages to
You
be
have
a
come to your final lesson.
good game.
Lower the prisoner in his cage. Excellent. Now, come here.
Yep, there we go.
We have purged your fear. You are ready to lead, ready to become one of the League of Shadows. But first, you must demonstrate your commitment to justice. He is a murderer and a thief. He cannot be allowed to live.
No. I'm no executioner.
You must have the will to act, or you are not fit to lead these men into Gotham.
Gotham?
As its favorite son, you are ideally placed to strike at the heart of criminality. That city has become a festering wound of suffering and injustice. It cannot be saved, and must be allowed to die.
You can't believe in this.
Wayne, what are you doing?
What needs to be done?
I mean, yeah, this movie is like 15 years old. It's been a while too. Fence break. Damn, that's so slow. Yeah, the combat system a little goofy for sure. All right, let's stomp. Ra's al Ghul. Am I supposed to? There we go. That's very sturdy, but okay.
Quickly, you can escape.
But yeah, so this is him becoming Batman, basically, or like his training. It is a little funny how it's like it's pretty condensed here. Obviously, in the movie, we're being shown, or at least it's implied, that he's there for like at least a year, maybe a few years. But here it's like, okay, Wayne, let's train you. Walk behind this guy and stealth kill him. Well, I think you're pretty much ready to lead our like
the League of Shadows.
I don't know. It's
Nothing
pretty
but
funny.
ashes now. My mentor had shown me everything I could find without losing myself. So I left a card behind. I came back home.
All right. Down in the Himalayas, back in Gotham, I suppose. Man, I haven't watched this movie in forever. I mean, I remember the kind of broad strokes, but there's a lot of stuff I don't really recall, like the kind of detailed sequence of events.
I'm going to show the people of Gotham their city doesn't belong to the criminals and the corrupt.
As a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be ignored, I can be destroyed, but as a symbol, I can be incorruptible. I can be everlasting.
What symbol?
Yeah, spoilers for a 50-year-old movie. We might not have seen the last of Ra's al Ghul. Alright, so that's right. Falcone, I guess, that's one to add to the list, right? We should, you know, the whole villain directory. We should definitely keep track of some of these named gangster dudes, right? Wait, what? Yeah, I kind of roughly remember this from the movie.
I found a security camera view of Falcone, Master Bruce.
He's close.
He is, sir.
Batman totally invisible.
I dare say something's given him cause for caution.
I can separate him from his thugs, but he's arranged for police presence as well.
No doubt corrupt, sir.
I still can't attack them directly. I'll need a way around.
No doubt corrupt. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure the police officers sent there to protect the fucking mob boss. Yeah, they're probably not on the up and up. Alfred, the world's greatest detective. All right. Let's be stealthy. Still, I mean, even that's one of the coolest things about this game, and I like how it sort of.
You do have an optic cable. It could give you advantage on what.
You know, with the movie being focused on being, you know, more realistic, quote unquote, how they incorporate that in the game, and not just in like a superficial way, but like very much structure the game's action around Batman having to, you know, sneak up on people and whatnot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of the major actors in the movie do their voices here. Michael Caine definitely does. Because I remember seeing some interview stuff.
What?
And the like extras on the disc. Interrogate, maybe? Okay, I guess so.
Let's talk.
Oh yeah, we got Batman voice.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
You're one of Falcone's men. What's he doing here?
Please, you don't know Falcone. He's horrible.
You don't know me.
He isn't, and I'm worse. What's he doing?
Smuggling. Shipments come in from Southeast Asia weekly. Falcone cuts them up, hands them out to his dealers, but...
Keep talking.
Something's different this time. Something's happening in the sewers. And Falcone
this
wouldn't
font
start
is awful, though, isn't it?
The cops, unless he was...
Unless he was what?
Scared.
How about you?
I'm freaking terrified.
I don't know, I didn't quite sell it in that delivery.
Please, I got a kid.
We keep going?
That's all I know, I swear.
Sure about that?
Have mercy.
Alright. Let's choke slam this sucker. Alright, there we go. But yeah, like the whole idea of sneaking up and like getting the upper hand and having to interrogate people. Like, it's such a rare thing to even see in any Batman, like not even games, but even like the movies. Like, it's very, very refreshing, I think. So in some ways, like maybe it's not as good a game, but I like how this, it reminds me in a way of Spider-Man 2, where it's like, it's a faithful adaptation of the movie and does that well. Okay, I guess I have to jump to the side or something. But it's also a pretty refreshingly like nice take on just the character and the story in general. Like this is seeing this take on this stuff, like it's just valid as a Batman game, completely divorced from the movie, I think. Like I've complained about so many of these Batman games having such generic stories.
Any news from police?
So like I feel like this game is doing way better than most of those on that front too.
One squad of marksmen on the water. I wouldn't suggest putting yourself within their range.
Then I'm gonna need access to the sewers.
I'll mark the nearest entrance point on your radar, sir.
Two markers, yellow dot. Alright, alright. Hey there, Cadenator. Yeah, the climbing animation is the stuff of legend already. I like his little bat picture-in-picture. It's a nice touch. Oh, okay, I guess we gotta climb here to make it over that fence, because there's, like, barbed wire. The cape seems a little, conspicuous when you're doing this, but alright. Man, this looks good, though. This is a damn nice-looking game. I'm definitely impressed. This makes it curious to, like, see what the PS2 version would look like if you play it on the emulator, on an emulator in, like, higher resolution and stuff. Because I'm sure a lot of the kind of effects and stuff make this look nice, but only really look better with higher rendering resolution. That's usually the case. Aha. Let's box some debris. Crawl space.
Come on. The rest of the guys are already back there.
Yeah, I'm coming.
We'll put some hustle in it. Falcone wants us on standby in that van. You don't like to ask twice.
If I may, Master Bruce, the number of men waiting in that van may be too great a force for even you to take on single-handed.
Only if it's a fair fight. That forklift might shift the odds a little more in my favor.
Alright, forklift. Vehicle ignition. Alright, so I guess I sneak. Alright, they're not looking this way, I suppose. I need the key. Okay. Is it up here? Whoa, that's quite the leap. What's up? Reputation increased.
What's got Falcone on edge?
What in the name of...
Falcone brought a small army for a simple cargo drop. What's he afraid of?
I don't know. I think something's happening in the source.
How do I find Falcone's shipment?
Bears.
I'm gonna need more than that.
He puts the powder in plastic bags inside of stuffed bears. It's how he's done it for years.
Alright, we're getting the Falcone lore. Anything else for us?
I don't know anything else.
Alright, well, peace out then. I feel like you could have just dropped him and he would have, like, fucking probably died. It's quite the fall. I mean, yeah, I guess we left no corpse, so he's probably fine. There's a non-lethal concrete floor here, so I'm sure he's fine. Okay, we got the key. Can we open this door and no one notice it? Okay. Alright, it's completely silent. No one notices a thing. Key 1. Use. I see, okay. Not what I expected. I thought he was gonna, like, crash into it or create a distraction or something.
This can't be happening.
So they got a little life bar up there. Counter, but yeah, the whole final attack, multi-attack stuff is a little. Yeah, I don't quite get it, but we might get the hang of it eventually. Okay, well, I think he's dead. Or whatever. Yeah. My reputation is at stake. I can't let them see, you know, fumbling, failing Batman. I need to look cool.
It won't work in all cases, but you are skilled enough. The that your pick should make short work of most
Thanks,
locks.
Alfred, for letting me know that I can pick locks. Wait, there we go. Man, remember lockpick minigames? Those sure were a thing, weren't they? Alright, sewer manhole. Classic Batman, always sneaking into places via sewer. Fucking sewer levels. Still, I mean, it's a pretty visually striking sewer.
Tensile strength on the grapple.
Could it be dangerous?
The advantages are worth the risk. It gives me a higher vantage point on the drop on my enemies.
Very sensible, sir.
Pretty cool. Like, doing this, like, I remember that from the movie, now that I hear it, like, him trying out his gadgets and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I need to iterate on this, this needs improvement, etc. Like, that's a nice touch, like, bringing in this little dialogue. I'm enjoying this a lot so far.
Listen, why would I hurt you?
I don't know what's going on. Just put down the gun, all right?
I can't do that, Mac. Just let me through and you never see me again.
Couldn't even if I wanted to. I don't have the key.
And how the hell did you get over there?
From the far side. Listen, I don't know what you guys are doing, but if I don't seal off the main valve, we could have a real disaster on our hands.
Alright, let's
Your
get this
problems ain't mine.
done, dude.
Open this damn door.
I can't stay here.
You're not going anywhere. Hey,
I like that even that guy doesn't react to Batman just sneaking up on these guys. Can I do a fun finish? There we go. Oh, I thought I was gonna like suplex him or DDT him or something.
Whoa, what are you?
I'm here to help.
Definitely
I need
need
to
some more
get
wrestling
deeper
moves.
into the sewers.
What's going on down here?
Like sewer levels, cool looking environment type. I don't know, like I don't think sewers
I don't have time to
by
explain.
definition have to be terrible.
Nobody's supposed to be here. The only reason I am is to survey for tomorrow's repair crew.
Let me just
The
see
release
what's happening
valve
here.
on the dock's steam pipes rusted shut. If anybody opened up all the feed pipes, the whole system could burst.
Would anybody be hurt?
Probably not, but it would be pretty dramatic and real expensive.
How do I get to the feed pipes?
There's a door behind
Batman
me.
voice.
Keypad code is my anniversary. 1227. You're not gonna do anything crazy,
Do
are
I
you?
look like I'd do something crazy? Where you are is as safe as you're gonna get. Keep your head
Like the
down
Batman was
and
like,
wait for dawn.
so is there a way that I could blow everything up? Yeah, just go there and do this. Wait, you're not gonna blow anything up, are you? No, I promise.
Wayne Enterprises will be writing a check tomorrow to the God and Water Authority for steam damage.
The thing with
Just leave
sewer
me the right
levels is
place to
that
sign. And the feed pipe valves?
There are 3 of them. I've located them on your radar, sir.
it's, you know. Oh, do I really have to do this? They're not necessarily that visually striking, and like it's hard to create too much variety. It's hard to create like unique looking sewers, and it's kind of like a stereotypical thing. I mean, I don't think sewers are the only example of that kind of thing, but it's like pretty emblematic of like, oh, we're doing this, huh? You know, it's like, okay, that's how far the, you know, the inventiveness and your creativity and ideas went. I might, I mean, I guess in many cases sewers also mean like instant death, water, and whatnot. What was I supposed to do with this? Oh, it's probably up there. So it's like a kind of a combination of dreary visuals a lot of the time and like not the most exciting gameplay. But I think that aside, like visually, I mean, I think this is a great looking sewer level. Like, I don't mind this at all. Wait, where we go? I have probably more issues with like gray warehouse levels or like generic, you know, kind of military compounds and bases and stuff like that. I like sewers the same way I like dungeons in fantasy games. I mean, yeah, dungeon is kind of a broad concept, but a lot of the time, definitely pretty dull, I think. But it depends, you know. Obviously, you know, a dungeon can be many different things. But I also think that many people wouldn't necessarily, you know, see rock hallways and go like, "Oh man, dungeon level, that's sick." You know, it's like, maybe not. Wait, can you mid-air grapple? Probably not. Alright, I thought this would bring us back, but I wasn't sure. But, indeed. See if we can figure out how else to go. It's just like for show, I guess. Yep. Now, obviously, within the context of a, you know, dungeon crawling kind of game, there's definitely cool stuff you can do just with like that style of setting. But I'm not sure if I personally would find that type of location itself exciting. I don't know, frankly, if there's that many types of locations that I can think of that like be just a category of what kind of place it is makes me excited right off the bat. Rooftops, I guess, is something that I'm always excited for, regardless of, you know, how contemporary or urban it is, or how like you know, medieval rooftops or futuristic rooftops or whatever it is. Just, you know, that kind of location invites the kind of gameplay stuff where you're like jumping between buildings and knocking dudes off rooftops and shit. And that's like never not fun. Where is it supposed to go somewhere else from here? I'm like mad confused here. Wait, damaged pipe? Oh, wait, okay, I guess I wasn't done here. So I'm supposed to open this thing and then... Aha. Now I understand. I see. Grimrock has cool rock hallways. I mean, sure. Like I said, anything has the potential to be cool. I do think there are definitely more uncool sewer levels than cool ones. I think that's not terribly
no news to anybody that the
controversial.
But insisting on taking the shipment through the sewers is a new level of paranoia.
I've heard rumors that the doctor's half of Falcone's shipment ain't recreational.
Yeah, there's all sorts of talk going around. All I know
Oh,
is
the camera
sooner we're
is
through with the job and out of here, the better.
quite something. Is there pipe or something here? Where's this door? You can't tell which doors are like you can do stuff with and not. That's kind of annoying. I like the level design in this game too. Like I like that it's. I mean, I like linear action games. A lot of the times, like kind of open world or like open-ended things can. To me, like. Whoops! I didn't mean to do that. Okay, fear's going down. Let's get these guys. I don't tend to think that games are like better by default for being non-linear or open-ended. At least here, like there's like little scenarios and puzzles kind of designed as you're exploring this level. And that goes a long way towards making something like sewer level less boring, I think. Shame Batman hadn't invented Batvision before this game comes out. Yeah, no detective, no Hitman vision, Eagle, Assassin's Creed, whatever. Bat eyes, but we'll make do without it. We got Michael Caine marking things on our map, so it's pretty much good enough. Man, even like auto-targeting batarangs at the press of a button, like such a huge leap forward from the like extremely awkward batarang mechanics of the previous games, like Vengeance and Dark Tomorrow, having like press like 4 buttons to activate batarang mode, then go into this weird first person with no auto aim or targeting. But here it just works like you would expect from a modern game. You see a little reticle, you press a button, boom, that's it. Like, this game is like, you know, this game didn't come out in a vacuum, of course. It didn't come out in some weird alternate universe where there are only Batman games. But playing these games in sequence and comparing them, like, it's... And in fairness, something like Dark Tomorrow was much maligned in its time for a lot of reasons, but yeah, this game just feels vastly more modern in a good way.
So what? So don't be so
in how it does a lot of things.
You got me. Not the stuff Falcone pushes.
What did it look like?
White, like powdered sugar. The guy who split it open was wearing
right underneath them.
rubber gloves up to his elbows.
Sounds serious.
Alright, I'm gonna sneak up on one of them here, maybe? I like that you can hear their heartbeat, like it's a cool thing. Well, I can't do anything here, I guess. But wait for him to turn around, or... Well, we'll see here. Eek. Yeah, I guess it's dark in here or something. Oops. Alright, they didn't suspect a thing. Definitely hard to believe it's from the same generation of systems. Yeah, right? Like, it's... This feels... I mean, granted, Vengeance was, I think, in like 2001, 2002. Dark Tomorrow and Sinzu were in 2003, and this was in 2005.
Damn it! This can't be happening. Whatever
I like that they're scared shitless, start running, and then immediately react by fighting. They're not, like, startled by seeing Batman at all. Oops, that's not the block button. Alright, we're done here. Alright, so I guess we're probably going to interrogate the last guy or something. Or, well, I guess we'll see. He finishes combo, then he's like... Oh, nice, you can do a little rolling uppercut. That's cool. Alright, that's from the movie. I forgot. But yeah, like there's such a huge evolution in just the approach to many things. And it's weird because I could swear that despite me liking this game at the time, I remember reading or hearing that this apparently was not terribly well received, which, I don't know, it seems kind of crazy to me. But at the same time, like 2005, I think was in almost the height of like GTA mania, and like everything that wasn't the GTA clone was like considered outdated. Like, oh, you have to be open world, that's the future and whatever. And I don't think I ever really subscribed to that. Did I play Batman Beyond? Yes. I had the demo for that on PS1. I always wondered if it was good. I'm pretty much considering that the absolute worst game on the list of games we played. It's a very, very bland, extremely simple beat 'em up game that doesn't do anything to like make use of the hardware. It's like 5 short levels. There are technically cutscenes between stages. The cutscenes are still images with text. No FMV, no voiceover, no nothing. And the stages are all like identical hallways, just repeated. I found the Game Boy Color port, the Game Boy Color version of that game superior to the PS1 game. But not really saying that much. I was not a fan at all of that game. But yeah, if you're curious about games I've been playing, if you type !Batman, you get a link to the spreadsheet where you can see the complete list of games and status of completed games and whatnot. Alright. I mean, it's the game probably that I would sort of rate the lowest, the game that I find the least interesting. There are games that you could certainly argue have more mechanical issues than that game. That game is serviceable. It's not broken, it's just boring. Like, I think a lot of people would probably say that Dark Tomorrow is the worst game because it's like comically inept in countless ways. But it had a really cool atmosphere and style to it that I like the character designs. It felt weirdly kind of old school. So I enjoyed that game a lot despite its numerous and sizable flaws. But it still had significantly higher highs than Batman Beyond, in my opinion.
Because Falcone can't just ship in clear plastic baggies. He's got the cops in his pocket, not the whole damn city.
But I thought bears were his thing.
They are. The rabbits are something new. The bears are standard powder. They go straight to the dealers.
Hey, what's up, Atomic Runner?
Rabbits?
They go somewhere in the Narrows.
What does that mean?
That's all I know. I tried to push further. Falcone told me not to stick my nose anywhere. It might get cut off.
Alright, so... Alright, we got some barbed wire here, which seems a little weird, but alright, okay, sure. Grapple point. Go there. Zip. I guess these guys are crosses because they're like out of range or whatever, but I think they're red because they all have guns. Can we even see? I don't know. Still, there's probably too many of them to warrant like a direct approach. Can I like jump onto this guy? Nope, not exactly. Oh boy. Yep, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Like having fences with barbed wire makes sense, but I don't know about shipping containers.
So what's with the rabbits?
Because Falcone can't.
Okay, well I'm pretty sure we're supposed to grapple over there first because there's not a lot else we can do from here.
But I thought bears were his thing.
They are.
Even highlighted from the beginning. All right.
The bears are standard powder. They go straight to the dealers.
And the rabbits?
They go somewhere in the Narrows.
Question is, can I?
That's all I know. I tried to push further. Falcone told me not to stick my nose anywhere. It might get.
I think that's the dude down there grunting and not Batman, but who knows? Can I? Well, let's try to explore here. Jumping down here was clearly not a good idea. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to. Well, okay. I was gonna say maybe I wait for the guy, and I guess he's not there anymore. Finished peeing or whatever. Like no wall hogging or anything, I guess. Just silently smack this. They won't suspect a thing. Oh, okay, cool. What about my radar? Can I just disable, I suppose? Maybe no one's in nearby. Oh, okay. I thought this. Thought that was just the water down there, but okay. Medical kit. I don't think we need that. There's no way to like display the life bar, but That probably means that we're at full health. Hopefully, anyway. Yeah, some of these animations are a little funny. They don't seem to like really fit the style. Alright, crane controls. Oh. Electro hack gadget.
I need encryption prefixes.
Right away, Master Bruce. You should be able to get into the machinery systems now.
Alright, Michael Caine, hack this for me. Electro hack. Wait, Chris beat to hack. Alright, we're gonna hack these zeros. When X is active, you can drop the cargo. This little picture-in-picture is so funny. So do we like kill these dudes or? There's no shadow, but no one suspects a thing.
This is messed up. What in the hell happened?
Oh, okay. They're just all scared.
I don't want to know. I shouldn't be here. Get a hold of yourself. Batman.
I guess maybe green just means that it's like safe to attack. I don't think they all had guns and dropped them. That doesn't really make much sense. Alright, you can like cancel into the defense break. It's such a long recovery. Yeah, the timing of the attacks is kind of funky. But still, like 2005, like shouldn't expect too much. I think. Nice that the knife just stands up.
Tell me about the rabbits.
I don't know any.
Sure you do.
It's funny. I believe you. Who does know?
Falcone's playing his cards close to his chest. Whoever he's working for's got him spooked.
Somebody knows.
His advocate. His, what do you call it? Consigliere. He'd know. Falcone tells him everything.
How do I find him?
He's the only guy in the docks in a $500 suit who's not Falcone.
What scares him?
I don't know. Falcone. Small spaces. He can tell you everything.
That's cool. What was I saying? Yeah, like obviously the Arkham games was kind of a evolution of similar ideas as this game in terms of how the combat's handled, but made it a little smoother and easier. And I mean, obviously there were games like Devil May Cry or whatever, but I mean, not to say that that was or is the pinnacle of fighting system combat games, but for a game that isn't necessarily built around combat, it makes sense to have a slightly simpler combat system. And comparing this to, I don't know, Prince of Persia games, maybe? Kind of what I can think of off the top of my head that would have similar kind of gameplay with like 3D fighting. Not to say that this is like head and shoulders above, but by no means bad. I think compared to the previous Batman games we played.
Supposed to be Falcone's right-hand man.
I had to get some air.
I like this
they
for
went
sure.
down to the ship's hold, and I'm
even
not,
if it's a little rough around the
comfortable with
edges.
Small spaces.
Not frustrating or annoying in any way.
In the Narrows, I heard.
It would be best if you didn't ask.
Sure, whatever.
Consigliere. Yeah, like the wall hugging controls are a little clunky by modern standards, but they're infinitely better than Dark Tomorrow's ass backwards solutions to that kind of stuff. Hello.
Do your worst. You'll get nothing from me. You're wasting your time. Falcone's already got me scared. There's nothing you can do to me. No! No! Please! Let me out! The walls! Please! I can't stand this!
You come out when you talk.
Please! Anything! Just let me out!
I want to know about bears and rabbits.
It's how Falcone smuggles his shipments in. The bears go to dealers, the rabbits are something new.
What are they?
I don't know what's in them. It's serious. They go to some guy in the Narrows.
What guy?
I don't know his name. Falcone's more secretive than he's been about anything before. He's some kind of doctor. I think he works at Arkham.
How do I find Falcone's shipment?
It's mostly been divided up already. Please let me out.
Falcone's shipment? How do I find it?
White Falcons. They're spray painted on his crates. I can't. I can't.
But even this, like the little cinematic stuff, like this is pretty well done. I like this a lot. Might be unfair
That sounds like
comparison.
evidence.
MGS3 around the same time.
These crates.
Exactly.
I believe a large number are in the hold of the container ship docked nearby.
Perfect.
May I ask, sir? Perfect for what?
Something dramatic. Something he can't hide.
But they're pretty different games too. But yeah, I think I agree. Like, basically, for a game that isn't based around it or focused on it, the combat is fine in this. It's pretty good, I would say, even. Crane thug. All right, wait. Can I?
Hey, buddy.
Rustling plastic sheets. No one notices, I
Nobody
guess.
else here? I must be talking
No, whoa. I didn't mean to do that, but
to you.
sure.
Not a light?
Nah. Or time, neither.
You one of the doctor's guys, right?
What do you want to know for?
But yeah, like we haven't played any Batman game that even comes
Oh,
close to this kind of
rabbit
idea
and
of,
bear thing don't sit straight with
you
me.
know,
Oh,
stalking
why, I've
around,
only been
sneaking,
head
and
seeker,
surprising
all of a
people,
sudden
and
interested in,
let alone like
drugs
being
and
severely
attacking
punished for even
us.
trying to
Those ain't healthy
take on enemies
curiosities, and I'm not your
head on. Okay, some of that targeting thing looks a little weird sometimes. But hey, I guess this was made by the Nightmare Circus people. So you should expect in-depth combat. I guess it's not. Wait, Eurocom and Funcom. I always get them confused. So I guess that's Funcom, right? Not Eurocom. That makes sense. Never mind. This is made. Eurocom was like the home port of Mortal Kombat 4 people, I guess. Which is maybe less in their favor. Oh, it's pretty cool, by the way. Whenever we're making noise, you see that little red circle on the map. That's a cool touch. Am I wrong in saying the comic-based games are more niche than what? Metal Gear? I mean, obviously this game in particular is based on the movie, but even so, like most properties that were originally comic book properties aren't necessarily like there's a bunch of X-Men games, sure, but at least some of those are, you know, coincide to some degree with the movies. So, I mean, Batman originated in comics, but I would venture a guess that like 90% of people know Batman through TV shows and movies and not comics. I mean, I'm a big comics nerd, and even I've barely read any Batman comics. I've read some, but not many. I don't primarily know him from the comics. Granted, I never read very much DC stuff. I grew up reading Marvel, but even so, like in most people's minds, I mean, he's a comic book character, but he's also just Batman. And certainly at this point, like, with the popularity of comic book movies, like comic book properties are like among the most, like, the biggest mainstream thing you could imagine. So it's not really niche in that sense. But, you know, that hasn't necessarily always been the case. For Batman, I think that kind of always has been the case. Like, or at least from 89 onwards, you know. I mean, there was the TV show in the 60s. But in between that period, like throughout the 70s and 80s, like Batman was not what he is today. Certainly recognizable, popular. I mean, I loved Batman when I was a kid. I just don't get this notion that someone who likes the movie a lot will want to play the video game. Well, do you think there's a stronger connection between someone who reads comic books? Wait. Oh, just military crate. Smoke grenades. High reputation will make your fear gadgets more powerful. Alright. I mean, it depends on what it is, right? Like, certain movies, I think, are more... make for better or more natural games than others. I mean, with comic books and superheroes, it's...
and other fear devices are only theatrics, Master Bruce. They'll only work on enemies already in a state of fear.
Alright, that's a cool touch. Makes sense. What was I saying? Yeah, like comic books and superheroes are already, you know, kind of a wish fulfillment sort of fantasy thing, right? So having kind of an interactive version where you get to be that character and control that character and have that experience makes a lot of sense. Alright, let's send some shit down here. Oh. Electro hack gadget. Okay. I can't hack with these subtitles going on. Alright. Oops, I didn't press the right button. There we go. Hey, Falcone boxes. Just getting launched off of that thing. Didn't read many comics. My favorite would be Punisher, Usagi Yojimbo, and Lobo. Yeah, I'm not sure if there was ever... I know Lobo was in the first Injustice game. I kind of like that version of that character, for that matter. But I think he's just one of those characters that kind of...
Some kind of costume freak.
timing-wise, like, I'm not sure... if the popularity or existence of the character like coincided well with when there kind of could or would have been a game. I don't know. Like a lot of kind of minor comic book characters, not necessarily lesser DC characters or whatever, but like independent comics and stuff like that had games, like British computer games in the 80s and stuff like that. But I guess it's tricky with, like, you know, relatively minor characters from Marvel or DC, where the way licensing works, you wouldn't necessarily be able to license those characters separately. So weird. When you bring up that menu, the A button cancels. I think that dude's like watching over this area, so I should probably not. Yeah, we should probably skulk around here. And I guess Usagi Yojimbo would be an example of something like that. That, like, I know there were some like 2000 AD stuff probably. Spider-Man has had a ton of games, and I would say Spider-Man has got to be the one. I mean, Spider-Man and Batman might be pretty even in terms of batting average for like game quality. But yeah, Spider-Man, it's the same thing here. Like, in, I don't know, the 80s, would he be considered a comic character maybe? But at this point, I mean, absolutely. Should I have? I can't throw it now. Whoops. Can't. Okay. Yeah, I fucked that up. Maybe I should have tossed it from below. I mean, without a doubt, when the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie came out, if he had been considered, you know, a comic book character up to that point, he most definitely was not after that point. He was like, something way more. Wait, can I actually throw it up there? No way. Nope. Isn't the C64 Usagi Yojimbo game holding pretty high regard? Could be. I mean, I've never played it, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, like many C64 games, I'm sure it's it is of its time and of its ilk. Okay, so I need to scare him first. I don't understand. Whoa. Some emote fodder right there. Well, he's looking. It's pretty high up, so I don't think I can do... Like, I gotta do something else to scare him first anyway, I think. I thought maybe I was supposed to, like, knock over the boxes where he was standing or something. Oh, I guess maybe he just simply turns around. I mean, he's facing the other way now. Okay, well. Wait, what the?
Costume freak.
I couldn't stealth kill him. Right, I could just do final attacks when he's like lying down, so they would just whiff. Alright, well that worked. That wasn't very elegant, but it worked. But yeah, like any of those games on those old computer systems, not to say they don't hold up, but like you gotta go in knowing what to expect. Like I think the first Batman game, the Spectrum and CPC and whatever else it was on, the isometric game, I understand why that was highly regarded when you play it. Like it's very difficult in some kind of bullshitty ways. Oh, wrong button. But it's a fun game. And definitely a lot of like old computer games are kind of... They're not very hand-holdy in many ways. Not just in being like difficult and challenging, but also kind of cryptic. A lot of the times, like you're expected to read the manual and that kind of thing.
If I may, sir, Falcone is being protected by a small army and a large arsenal. A forward attack may be too great a risk.
This isn't a matter of force. Falcone's been beaten before. He knows he can always get back up. I want to get close. Show him my nightmare. Show him there's something on these streets more frightening than him.
And how exactly do you intend to get close to him, outside of using force?
I'll bring him to me, that crane.
Very creative, sir. One could almost believe that you enjoy this.
Oops, wrong door. But there's definitely also games that like were... I mean, it's kind of hilarious to read like old Amiga reviews and stuff, because it's like always every Amiga magazine rates every game like 97 out of 100 or like 4 out of 100. Like, it's always one or the other. And sometimes, like, the low scores are very well deserved. And a lot of the times you read, like, just, you know, complete unbridled praise for something that's like, really? I quite enjoyed the Batman movie game on Amiga. But yeah, I've heard good things about the C64 game. That game had a lot of different versions. I never played. Perfectly in sync here, huh? Alright. I thought they were gonna turn around. Alright, let's just keep multi-attacking. Use a little smoke. Okay, sure. That worked better than expected. And juggle? Nope, not really. Okay, well, we got him. Was it Amiga version of Batman the movie with this crazy biker on the Shrek stage? No, that's Batman Returns. The Amiga version of Batman Returns is like legendarily shit. But the first movie game is pretty cool. The Batmobile stage in the movie game on Amiga was like one of my favorite Batmobile sections in any game. But that one is also like, it's really difficult. I had to replay it. I was stuck on that level for like an hour. But it was fun. But the C64 one is a little different because it's obviously doesn't have that kind of first-person perspective. But it's in this kind of side view, and it's a little easier. And I remember even when I was playing the Amiga one, like people were commenting on how the C64 one was apparently really good. Okay. Do we ride this thing? Okay, maybe we use the controls. But yeah, we didn't play any games on the Spectrum. But we did the very first game, Batman. I think I played the Amstrad CPC version, which... See, stuff like this feels like surprisingly modern. There's no lives, there's no game over screen, you just retry. It's nice. But that version is like a little more colorful, but otherwise not very different. That game was also on MSX, at least in Japan. But definitely at least the movie game. But yeah, the Caped Crusader is also on C64, but we played the Amiga version of that. When looking at those early titles, I didn't like play every single different computer version because for the most part, they're not that different. They look different, obviously, but it didn't seem worth it to play through the same kind of game like multiple times. I mean, maybe I should have. I don't know, but I don't feel like we missed out on that much. Yeah, I guess Batman can't swim. But hey, it's a video game. Definitely didn't need to do that, but I feel like the game's gonna shower us with grenade pickup, so I might as well use them. Oh, I think I came from there. Specky version, black and white comic book style. I mean, might be alright. Might be alright. A lot of that stuff was, I mean, to some degree before my time, but also not something I really engaged with much. I mean, I had friends who had Commodore 64s, and I got one myself at one point. But that was in like the mid 90s. I got my C64, I think, in like 96 or something like that. 97 maybe. I had friends who had Amigas in the early 90s. And I grew up with Mac in the household.
So I'm Marvin too.
So like I have certainly a degree of familiarity,
like
but nothing, no deeper cuts really than the C64. And even then, the Amiga was. I definitely played a lot more Amiga than C64.
Yes, sir. I don't want to see your face again on dry land.
So yeah, I mean the Spectrum for sure. Like it's not a library I'm particularly familiar with. Oh, I wasn't paying much attention there. It's brutal, even on, yeah. I mean the Amiga movie game. I definitely used the trainer for infinite lives because otherwise, you lose lives very quickly. Like with infinite lives, it's a fun challenge, but doing it all in like 5 lives, like no way. But the thing is too, like you can't make the argument, I guess, that that's like how they should be played or were originally intended. But in terms of like, you know, considering this as kind of a, you know, archaeological, what's the word? Anthropological, like exploration. In my world, at least, like using trainers and at least having those cracked versions, like that was how you experienced most Amiga and Commodore 64 games. So to me, that's like not at all like unfaithful to the original experience. But your mileage may vary, obviously. And yeah, for sure, the intended way isn't always that fun. Like, I don't typically... I mean, I don't play a lot of games on emulator. I don't use a lot of save states and that kind of thing. Whoops. Oh, wrong button. But that... Oh. I'll get him close enough so I can... There we go. That multi-attack hitbox is a little questionable, but whatever. It's a little weird that you can't, like, knock them out when they're down, but oh well. But as far as, like, using passwords or cheats or lowering difficulty, like, if you know, for something like this, like, I always try to play it kind of the intended way first, but I'd much rather cheat or, you know, use a trainer or use passwords or something else to kind of see the thing through than completely bang my head against the wall for like infinite number of hours. A lot of the time, you know, if the challenge is at a reasonable level, I'll definitely enjoy overcoming it. But, you know, to a limit. Definitely got the arcade operator difficulty. I would say the most egregiously difficult game for sure, though, was the Caped Crusade. Where you're like... I want to say the Joker one wasn't as ridiculous, but the Penguin one, where like every single screen, there's like 2 thugs, 4, you know, penguins shooting missiles at you, and then there's like robots, and like you can't take like 5 steps without losing 20% of your life, and you have to get through like 140 screens or something. It's like absolutely ridiculous. Even with like infinite health, it's like a chore. So I don't know what the deal was with that game. Yeah, definitely some sort of skeleton peeling life bars or some variant thereof with like the Joker's face. HF transponders will cause a scared enemy to become paralyzed with fear. So here's where I'm locked.
So I'm Marvin too. They said it was some kind of creatures, something like a man, but it couldn't be stopped.
Anything that walks can die. I'm happy to prove it to any man here. Where's my damn
So these
boat?
guys are gonna come through this door, I guess, and I want to get out of the way.
Load the damn thing in if you have to.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to see your face again on dry land. You understand?
So let's just hide here. All right, he's coming here.
What are the rest of you standing around for? Get your guns out of your holsters and your heads out of your eyes. Anything moves.
Yeah, it's Doug. Where the hell is Peleg with the boss man's boat? I don't care, just get him here. I'm coming.
All right, okay. Interrogation, I guess. Is he gonna give me the key?
Dear Lord, don't kill me. I need to get through that door.
And yeah,
Please, just don't hurt me.
there's a few kind of famously terrible ports of the NES Turtles game.
I just worked for the guy.
It was on the Amiga, it was on DOS.
He doesn't like heights.
And there was like some version of that it's like unfinishable.
Just let me go.
And it wasn't a great game to begin with. Have I played NES Turtles on stream? No, I haven't played a lot of NES. It's not a system I really care that much for, and I don't typically do a lot of emulator stuff either. Plus, it's, like I said, it's not a game I'm terribly fond of. So I'm pretty sure I've never played that on stream. I would say if I were to do that, it would be as part of a Turtles something or other, but I feel like McCall covered that ground pretty thoroughly when he did his TMNT marathon. I guess that game, to some degree, gets a little more shit than it deserves. But at the same time, like, it is a wonky game that's kind of obnoxious. Yeah, there's a kind of an infamous weird gap in the NES version that I'm pretty sure AVGN did some thing about in his video about that game where it looks like you're supposed to jump, but yeah, you just kind of walk through the gap. But there's definitely some legit hard, weird jumps too. I'm sure McCaw got stuck somewhere or other. Wait. I guess I can probably glide there. Oh. Fucking satisfying platforming. This game is pretty fucking cool. Yeah, and the Technodrome appearing in like random spots, and you just have to guess. It's pretty dumb. And yeah, the Platinum TMNT game, I never finished it. I have the game, and I never finished it. It's bad in like weird ways. It's like it has a lot of the stuff that's like good in those games, but it has kind of a bad twist on it. Like the combat system is kind of what you would expect from a Platinum game, but like it runs at 30 FPS, so it's already kind of awkward to begin with. And like you can block and parry, but it takes like stamina. The fact that you're always all four turtles is more awkward than fun and good, because the computer is gonna like run around and play the game while you try to figure out what the fuck's going on. Every stage is like huge and sprawling and empty, and you've got these like missions. Like it's kind of a, you know, you're checking off this checklist of missions and objectives. And at some point, arbitrarily, when you've reached enough of them, you know, April calls you on the phone. It's like, all right, you can go to the boss now, or some shit like that. And then you go fight a boss.
I don't know, man. I don't see
The art is nice. The bosses are really cool visually. But, like, it's a huge mess of a game, quite frankly.
What if it's the Coast Guard? They can't be
which is pretty disappointing. For one, I really, really enjoyed the Transformers game, but the Turtles game is it's just big ass mess. Man, the guard break move is like 4 seconds long. It's really weird. I like this. This is cool. Yeah, so the Technodrome in the NES Turtles game, like when you're in that final stage or whatever. So the way the game is structured is like every stage is like its own top-down map, and you walk around the map and you enter buildings or you go down manholes and play a little side-scrolling section, and you get back up to the hub map. And there was like the infamous dam stage, which is like the second stage or something. It's not far into the game at all. It's mostly swimming, but it's still connected with these like overhead parts. And in the last stage, or a late stage, I forget if it's the very last one, you travel around the map and you enter these side-scrolling parts, and
I've intercepted a signal from Falcone.
the Technodrome is located at the end of one of 3 possible locations, I think it is. So you just go to those places and play through an entire difficult side-scrolling section, and if you're lucky, that was where you were supposed to go. And if you're not lucky, too bad. There's nothing for you there. Now you have to go to another, of the 3 locations and hope that that is the one that you're supposed to go to. Like, it's, yeah, not great. Is there like a sniper right above me or something? Wait, can I just jump? Probably. Oh, I see, okay. I want to like sneak because there's dudes over there, but... Dude, like fucking platforming. This game is pretty awesome. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, still nothing, man. Thought I saw a shadow for a second, but that's all it was. Hey.
Nope. Yeah, the weapon system in Transformers, like the whole loot drop stuff. Yeah, that's definitely my least favorite aspect of the game. But it looks gorgeous and the combat is fun. Like, you can absolutely tell that Transformers is kind of a low-budget thing. They're not operating at, like, full capacity. But for what it was, like, I absolutely enjoy that game start to finish. I didn't finish Korra, I didn't finish Turtles, but Transformers I had a blast with. Take it over here. Oh, I'm gonna pick up his fucking car or whatever. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm probably gonna see the magnets. And yeah, speedrunning. That's kind of where I've learned how a lot of that stuff works too. Like, you just have to hope that you get the good Technodrome spawn, because if not, then yeah, it's just lost time.
Leave that superstitious crap for the Bush Leagues. I want to know who he's working for and how I can hurt him. I'm not gonna keep playing errand boy while that white-collar geek Crane barely lifts a finger.
Oh, that Nokia phone?
In the name of... Please! Somebody! What the hell is going on?
Did I play MGR? Sadly, not really, no. I have the game. But I remember I played the demo, really, really liked it. I struggled figuring out how some of the stuff worked. But I only played a little bit. And then I bought the full game. And because the game like starts off with the same section that's in the demo, I kind of got a little bored of replaying that same section, and I ended up like never really continuing to play. That's like my big shameful blind spot. There's other Platinum games that I haven't played, but MGR in particular is like there's really no reason for me not to have played that.
I'm Batman.
But I'll get to it at some point. Yeah, Korra was,
At the scene. Drugs,
I don't know,
prints,
pretty
cargo
bland.
manifests. This back character gave us everything.
That's your nocturnal. That's maybe, but even for billionaire playboys, 3 o'clock is pushing it. The price for leading a double life, I fear.
Bruce? But it's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
All these film clips. Like all quick montages and whatever. Alright, okay, making progress. So I haven't played Mad World either. And I have that game. I bought it to play at some point. And I've been meaning to play it on stream at some point. I think I've toyed with the idea to kind of do a little, you know, sort of a platinum theme. I wouldn't call it a theme stream, I guess. It would be more of a thing like this, of going through all of them. Because I have most of them, if not all. I have the Star Fox game that apparently is terrible. I never played that one either, but I have it. I want to say there was like, yes, Infinite Space. I always get Infinite Space and Infinite Undiscovery mixed up because they're both like nonsense space whatever. But I guess that's kind of the black sheep. Like it's very really stands out in their body of work, or at least for a long time it did. I guess they're diversifying a little more now, but.
I found an ally and a resource in Lucius Fox. And
yeah, I have Wonderful 101. I played through a few stages. I actually quite liked it. It's just one of those games that I kind of fell off for no particular reason. I didn't dislike it.
Does it come in black?
Tumblr. Oh, well, okay. We're doing it now, I guess.
Sir, I have the recording of Lucius Fox's message from Wayne Enterprises.
Thanks to Earl's love for bureaucracy, we've got no idea what they stole. But whatever it was big. They pulled it off in a big rig with a...
Can I get a tutorial for this? Truck carrying the stolen equipment is being guarded. I feel like okay, sure, I was reading chat, but did they really explain what was happening in the story? I feel like we just talked to Falcone and then we got a little Katie Holmes montage and now we're driving the Batmobile. The truck carrying the stolen equipment is being guarded by a number of vehicles driven by armed thugs. Use your vehicle skills to knock them off the road and reach the truck. Okay, controls. Accelerate, brake, steering, weapons, rear view, jump, boost. Okay, so there's no like handbrake or whatever.
So I'll need to take down that freight truck.
Yes, sir. But you'll have to get through its fleet of escort vehicles.
Massive.
And I'm afraid
motion blur.
the narrow bridge. You won't be able to get to it before they brace it.
No casualties.
That doesn't mean I can't cross.
My wheels are toast!
I guess we're supposed to aim for the dudes with the arrow above their car. I have like hold of nitro for like 4 seconds before it kicks in. So it's like turn radius is really kind of awful. I guess this is like Batman Burnout. But I mean, that's pretty true to the movie and it's fun, so why not? It's a little obnoxious, but that's not a pickup. Alright, taxi, no casualties, they're fine. That was a non-lethal head-on collision, so we're good. I'm sure he's fine. I'm not sure if the goal is to destroy these dudes or to actually like catch up. There's not a timer. I have some sort of life bar, I guess. Okay, I'm losing armor when I crash into walls, it appears. Taking turns when the camera is off doing its own thing is a little dodgy. It's alright. The turning is really slow, but still seems to be doing alright. Dude, the headlights fucking look like pickups. They're indistinguishable. Oh, now we're time. Jump bridge. Whatever. Is he gonna ram me? Yeah, good luck, buddy.
That's no cop car.
Whoops. Just a delivery van. Okay, we're good.
I'm out of the chase.
Where's that guy? It's pretty cool, though. You can use a fair amount of nitro without being too scared of it running out. They do like rub against you for a few seconds, then just go flying into the nearest wall. It's pretty satisfying, though. And I mean, this isn't the most, as far as like driving environments. I mean, it's no Outrun 2. Pretty dreary, but it's it fits the style and the tone of the movie slash game. And for what it is, I still think it's quite nice looking. Dude, that's a fast car. Like rear ends the Batmobile and explodes. Whoops. Am I like running? Am I supposed to build rep here, or am I supposed to get to somewhere? Still don't exactly understand. If we time out, maybe we'll try to destroy more enemies. Oh, thanks a lot, camera. Not getting like a timer extension or anything, are you? Okay, no, I think bridge jump. I don't know why the bridge jump had like a life bar or whatever, but is that where we had to? Okay, I guess that's what we had to make for the time's up. All right. Alright. Guess we don't have to go fast, but fun. Nope, no pulverizing today, mate. I wanted to get the nitro, but like as soon as the takedown camera kicks in, like it's pretty tricky to try to steer. FOV keeps like changing too.
The thieves' freight truck is bound for Gotham Black Market. If they cross into the pocket, your chase is lost.
Oh shit, there's extra fire.
I've got the weight equalizer's job. I'm almost there. You chased by some tank. Get ready for me. That's no cop car.
Oh, okay, you wait for that X to show up. I see, okay. It's gotta be close enough. That's not bad. Or like shooting out all the wheels, I guess. Doesn't have a lot of wheels left. Still, I gotta say, like, I'm being kind of reminded of like the Mega CD games, and like of all the Batmobile sections played, like definitely one of the less confusing ones.
You rescued a truckload of kitty litter.
That's a nice looking effect.
For a moment, I feared all that destruction was for nothing.
Yeah, just a cutscene jumping. All right, let me catch up with chat.
Decoy. They were distracting us from the real theft.
And what was that?
Put Lucius Fox on it. We need to find out what the missing weapon is before all of Gotham figures it out the hard way.
Did we ever get one of these stat screens before? I guess not. All right. Yeah, no casualties. Definitely. Like I said, all non-lethal head-on collisions. Yeah, I don't know. The barriers were pretty helpful. I'm not complaining. Reminds me of Spy something top. Yeah, I guess you're thinking of Spy Hunter. Top down, raising, action, shooting kind of thing. Made into a movie game starring The Rock, except they never made the movie. I need to get that game. The PS2. I guess it's probably on Xbox too. Spy Hunter game with The Rock. Passage to Gotham mission mode. Okay, so this is like mission mode and time attack mode version of this driving stage, probably. I mean, hey, it's a midway game from like the early 2000s. It's probably pretty great. I think that was like 2002 or something.
Who was Falcone working for? What were the drugs and where were they going? Gordon's partner, Detective Flass, would know.
So last time we saw one of these time things, it said 7 days ago.
Nah, the guy's got a bank account full of get out of jail cards.
I'm not sure about the timeline here.
But we got a few days peace and quiet anyway.
Okay, those guys definitely didn't die. Well, okay, I guess he cleared them. Alright, this dude's fucking not even a little scared. Oh shit! Right, you can. I pressed the jump button by mistake, but I guess that's the thing you can do. Oh, like we're in a combat mode. You can do these little side flips. Jump attack. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wake up attack. All right. Yeah, area of fear. I guess it's like everyone. It's like a base. Everyone in this area is gonna be scared. Not tied to like any specific enemy, I guess. I think the HUD is well designed for what it does, but it's a little. Again, that's a great example of what I was saying before about like feeling simultaneously modern and dated. Like it's modern enough that it does a few things pretty cleverly, but it's not super fine-tuned or well-polished. Like hiding parts of the HUD that aren't needed, but not necessarily doing a great job of determining whether or not something is needed.
How do I get in?
You'll need a passphrase at the entrance. It changes daily, but the character of such a secret's keeper would suggest that any number of the local gentlemen would likely share it, if properly persuaded.
I got you, Alfie. What's up, Franken? Whoops. Batman Begins, because we're just getting started. I don't know. Alright, alright. Yep, Cedar, what's up? Batarang. Batarang, the computer terminal. That works. Let's throw a batarang at a monitor. Open a door. Sure, why not? First try. That's right.
Let me up. Not without the magic word. It's Jeff. You know me. We used to run birds on 10th Avenue. Without that passcode, I don't know you from Adam. Get lost. Something's wrong. Something big. Sounds like a damn mortar landing. Fascinating. What's the passcode? Told you, man. I don't know. Then go play in traffic.
Alright, so I guess that's like a camera. So I don't want to sneak up on him right there. Probably need to like distract. What was that popping up? Alright, let's take a look over here first. Man, I really like this approach to the game, like sneaking around. Like I feel like this easily is like the first game to like kind of actually make you feel like Batman in terms of like how you approach these situations. I'm so glad playing this game that it is fun and good, like I remember it. Yeah, I probably need to sneak up over. Or we can just run up this dude. Probably works. As I mentioned previously, like I bought this, or I didn't buy it, but I played this game when it was new. And I liked it. But any game that you liked and then don't play for 15 years, you know, it's going to be kind of mixed emotions going into a revisit of that game, because you never know if it's going to hold up.
Like, cook things?
How the hell should I know? All I did was drive the truck.
But it's a microwave weapon, right?
That's what the guy said. Some kind of Wayne Enterprises.
Alright, we got some
military.
thug exposition.
What would Falcone want with something like that?
Falcone's toast. He didn't have nothing to do with it.
So who are we talking about here?
I don't know. Somebody new. Somebody serious.
How serious?
Serious enough that I'm finished talking about it.
Right, so can we... scaffold support? Sure, let's start there.
What the hell was that?
Who did that?
Holy crap! How did that happen?
Keep your
Yeah.
panties on. It was probably just an accident.
Did that look like an accident?
Probably
to you?
just rats.
We're good as dead.
Shut up. I'm trying to listen.
There we go. I probably could have stealthed him. Okay, they still had guns.
The Batman.
That went perfectly. Okay, let's try that again. A winged rat? Yeah, fair enough. I wonder if there's... I probably just fucked up. I mean, I think I got it right as far as the scaffolding. Question is, was there more I could have done
So what?
before jumping down?
Cook things?
How the hell should I know? All I did was drive the truck.
But it's a microwave weapon.
Like you can climb these
right?
pipes,
That's what
I
the
guess,
guy
but
said.
I don't think it
Some
takes
kind
you
of Wayne
anywhere.
Enterprises military thing.
What would Falcone want with something like that?
Like you can sort of
Falcone's
snap between these
toast.
target
Didn't
points,
have
but
nothing to do with it.
you
So who are we talking
there might be
about
more that
I
are
don't
like
know.
out of range, and
Somebody
it's
new. Somebody
hard to
serious.
tell.
How serious?
Serious enough that I'm finished talking about it.
It could also be, yeah, it looks like there's only one guy with a gun, so I guess I should have targeted him first. I guess I mistakenly assumed that I could just take him on, and that they would be...
Holy crap! How did that happen? Keep your panties on.
So-
It was probably just an accident. Did that look like an accident
Guy
to you?
closest to me, I think, that has the gun. Yeah.
Shut up.
But if I make sure to target him, I don't want to do this before the area of fear drops down. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can do a takedown.
What the? Yo, he was just here.
There we go. Break up attack. Vault attack's a little funny.
How many closer?
Like you're targeted, you have to use the D-pad to switch targets, but if you press, the analog stick towards another target and attack, you can like swap targets on the fly. It actually works pretty well, but it's not perfect. English, nah, man. Okay, I need to do the stealth kill.
If I may be so bold, sir, if you don't leave any of these men conscious, no one will be left to interrogate the ospreys.
Well, Hetty.
No one inside the market.
I mean, bad guys with English accents, that pretty much.
What's the magic word?
I don't think Marvel invented that.
Please, go.
You can do better than that.
Passphrase for the door.
Sorry, don't hurt me. The phrase is little pig.
Thank you. Alright. Get some health back here. Did we take damage? I guess I don't know. Apparently. Well. Now, I guess we can, yeah, I don't know if we have to deal with the fact that there may or may not be a camera here. I don't know. He said, it looked like on the map, you see there's a dot there, but maybe the other dot is the dude inside. Yeah, it must be. I think, yeah, that's a lamp. I guess I thought that was a camera. But the dude said, whoever this guy was talking to was saying that he didn't know who he was from the voice. Which of course implies that there is no video here. So we just go up and say, little pig, and we'll be good.
What's the magic word?
Little pig, let me in.
You got it.
Like stealth assault the receptionist here. Ah! Military crate just strewn about. I mean, I guess it's a bad guy lair. Oh yeah, the transponder. You can also use that to like scare people, paralyze people who are already scared. I guess that's what they said before. Got an email? Find and question the corrupt police officer Flass. Okay. Oh, I like the door. Like the elevator's not even there when the door opens.
Detective Gordon has an informant inside the market.
Is he still inside?
Undoubtedly so. And according to his information, Falcone has the building covered with...
Didn't we know he was here? Isn't that why we went here?
Where can I get a look at those camera views?
There's a central security center, sir.
Then that's how I find Flass in the Trap's boat.
Yeah, Batman with the despawning punches. It's funny when the first stage we had people like running out the window, escaping the fire or whatever. And the dude was like sitting on the ledge. It's like, oh, I guess he was fine. Then he just fades out. Like, oh no, okay, I guess he didn't make it. Black Market Club. I vaguely remember this stuff about Flass in the movie. I remember the actor. I mean, obviously this is something that's a little expanded upon. I'm sure that there wasn't a scene like this where... Whoops.
Gas. It looks like I just found the first of Falcone's traps.
It appears so, sir. And unfortunately, Gordon's files indicate that they are triggered by infrared beams. They won't be visible until you trip them.
Alfred, help! Maybe I should have run forward. I don't know. So I'm sure this is like expanded upon, but I don't really remember the sort of plot aspects of this either. But I guess we're just getting closer to finding out more about Crane and getting to Arkham. I do remember the whole microwave gun thing. There's no bat vision. Could have used it now. But I guess you're meant to trigger that. Maybe we just go... Or maybe you have to break the window or something. This doesn't work.
It looks like I just found the first of Falcone's traps.
Oh, grapple.
And unfortunately, Gordon's files indicate that they are triggered by infrared beams. They won't be visible until you trip them.
Oh, it's rising. Okay. Wait, what? This is a little weird. I probably can't reach a vantage point where I can see the grapple target before I trigger it. But like, that's the thing, like, a lot of those things are a little weirdly unclear.
Gas. It looks like I just found the first of Falcone's traps.
It appears so, sir. And unfortunately, Gordon's files indicate that they are triggered by infrared beams. They won't be visible until you trip them.
Okay. Wait, what the fuck just happened? Oh, I knocked it out the window, I guess. Okay. I was like, wait, why did breaking the vase stop the gas? But, okay. Like, before you get that reticle, there's no indication that something is going to be interactable. And it doesn't always appear very reliably. It's kind of easy to miss. Like, whoops, I probably should have. Oh, well. I was thinking maybe the dude is coming in. I didn't want to get snuck up on like before. I guess we're okay for now. Well, I guess that's locked, but...
You heard anything about this, bat creature? He can't be real. They talk about him like he's some kind of demon. I don't know, man. I heard some of Falcone's enforcers talking about it. None of those guys have a sense of humor.
Falcone's old news. Gotham PD nailed him.
It was the bat creature. They say he becomes a demon when you're most
Whoop, grapple. I was gonna say, yeah, totally quiet.
That machine gun is no joke. What are you so nervous about? That's the second alarm in 10 minutes. Could be bad.
Aha. Could be bad. Could be nothing. Alright, let's finish him. Dude, I don't think he would survive that. Well, yeah, he's nowhere to be seen. He didn't even leave a body. He just disintegrated. Alright.
The Batman!
Alright. Let's use the control. Oh. I have to use the electro hack gadget. Alright, we're gonna hack the security. I wanted to be a little quick here, but okay, so much for that. Security hacked.
I've got a view of Flass. He's in a separate building.
That could be problematic.
Mr. Freeze level funds. Nah, I think there's still ways to go until we're there.
Building is via Falcone's office. Apparently, it's reserved strictly for less savory activities.
Looks like Falcone's office is occupied.
The gentleman in Falcone's office is likely Gordon's informant, a certain Walter Feister. If so, he'll undoubtedly know how to gain access to the elevator.
Then I'll have a talk with him. I've put a data tap on the system. The security cameras could come in handy.
Of course, sir, but a word of warning. It appears that Feister is not alone.
Maybe I'll give him a little privacy.
Alright. We hacked the security, so I guess we can walk out here now. Green lasers are friendly lasers. I'm sure. I mean, they put a lot of side story. Has potential to be a little drag. I don't know.
Do the cameras have?
If anything, I feel like we're like.
Yes. The vantage should allow you to see.
Is there that much plot left? Cam hack. Alright, wait, which... Oh, I guess we're supposed to go in here. Gotta hack it. Ah, there we go. Gotta mash the hack button. Oh, shit. That's pretty cool. And I think the pace has been pretty good so far. Like, stages haven't been too long. Alright. Camera. Hacking. Okay. Alright, we're full Last Crusade mode here. Gotta spell Jehovah. Frame here. Come on. This is cool though. It's like it makes good use of this little picture-in-picture feature. I can probably jump over there, but let's... Oh, fuck it. Wait.
Somebody's here.
That's pretty cool. Like, trigger the trap after you're safe. Like struggling to get through the door. Okay, sure. That worked. Cam hack. So I guess we climb this thing. Is my cape gonna be okay? It looks a little risky, I gotta say. Let's find out if our cape's laser proof. Or maybe the beams are so far away. Okay. I guess they thought about that. Whoa. We probably don't want to open this door. Yeah, I think we're gonna not open that. Okay, this looks a little safer. Door's locked, but we can at least peek. Alright, so we gotta do something to startle these guys. To run out, basically. Probably involving this door here, but let's see what's over here first. Maybe we get to that room from the other side. That seems quite plausible. Like, say, through this vent. Okay. And I like the jumping and climbing in this game. Ooh. Stuff. Flashbang. Oh yeah, I never used those either. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was gonna say, can I throw a batarang at the door? But it wouldn't target, so.
Another alarm.
And Paulie never came back. You think it's trouble?
Guess I'm gonna find out, aren't I?
I like these guys. Fucking Russell Crowe's stunt double. I don't have that many gadgets, actually. I guess you'll never see my shadow. Did he see me? Who knows? Maybe I could have taken him out in a less, or in a more graceful way, but who cares? I guess I can't really get the drop on these guys. I can't like grapple and hide somewhere.
Some kind of...
Who's that? Paulie? Jack?
That guy's scared, but this dude's fucking fearless. Whoops. Trying to do the jump attack, but it's a little awkward. Final attack. Alright, wait. What's left? Is he upstairs or is it... No, it's through the door. Okay. Oh, it's the guy. So there's a button somewhere? Should I have grab? Oh, okay. I see. Gonna fucking ride the screen. That's pretty clever. I like it. Oh, shit. Thought we were gonna like talk. Gotta beat him up first, I guess.
I need to get next door. I'm looking for a crooked detective named Flass.
You work for Falcone?
No, I'm a hell of a lot worse. How do I get next door?
Don't hurt me. There's a construction job. I don't think it works anymore, but that door will get you to it. The security code is 1337.
You ratted out your friends.
I just saw an angle and used it. Please, I don't deserve to die.
If I let you live, you owe Gordon your life. You tell him everything you know.
Whatever you say.
All right, let's keep going.
Please, I can't handle pain.
All right, choke slam this dude and Check our emails. Oh, wait. Code is elite. I guess it's over here. Nice looking game. Like, I feel like I can't get over it. Like, there's definitely a kind of a blurriness to it, and it's got like a low frame rate. I mean, it's not low. It's not inconsistent, but it runs at 30, not 60. So there's definitely stuff like it feels a little not rough exactly, but it feels of its era. But all things considered, definitely a pretty nice looking game. No casualties, that's for sure. We're Batman after all. All right. Okay, let's take a ride. Ah, wait, lose boards. Okay, we gotta knock these out mid-flight, I guess. Gotta jump to get in here. Oh, okay. Alright, we'll just do it manually. Oh, this is pretty cool looking. I mean, it's a simple enough effect, but it's really, like, it works really well. Like, this is pretty cool visual. Like, for as, you know, kind of realistic and whatever you want to call it style they're going for, like, it's pretty... I mean, you wouldn't call it subdued exactly. Like, I'm surprised at how sort of colorful and like stylistic some of these visuals are. Like, I feel like this is more like evocative and interesting looking than many of the previous games, despite ostensibly being like based on kind of a toned down or like, you know, visually less extravagant version. Yeah, those boards, they're just debris. They'll despawn and fade out before they hit the ground, I'm sure. Light fixture. What do we do with that? Oh, dude. We were talking before about sewer areas being or not being boring, and I said, like, I don't know what I particularly like, but rooftops, scaling buildings, this shit is always cool. There's never going to be this kind of level in a game that I'm not going to find enjoyable. Like, oh, this shit is awesome. Like, platforming and shit, like, hey, even if we don't get to knock dudes off the building, I'm still gonna find this satisfying. Okay, wait, can I climb the... Ah, here we go. Light fixture. Aha! So wait, what about... What's this thing then? Can I target something over here? I don't know. The targeting camera can be a little confusing. I got like air control. Like, the platforming is really satisfying in this game. Rooftops are great. Hell yeah. Like, the camera can be a little wonky, but it's never a problem during like platforming for this kind of stuff. Like, you get pretty, it's not like fast paced or like, you know, twitchy. You get to take your time and kind of look around and figure out. Oh, dude, satisfying. Weird sideways climb. All right. Okay, so we can right over here. Whoop, hello. Okay, we lowered a bucket. so I guess we can ride this. Climb it, whatever. Another roll of wire. It's pretty cool. I'm really into this. Alright, then we make it to the next level over here. Whoop, no we don't. There was another roll of wire. Okay, let's try this again. Always press the D-pad. Sure he's missing the Batwing already. Yeah, well, no Batwing until the third movie. Or I guess it's called the Bat or something. They're not calling it the Batwing, but these animations are pretty funny. And yeah, I mean, I like these movies all right. I think I never liked the third movie, but I liked the first two. But the whole kind of realistic, gritty, or take was novel.
You're dead.
Probably shouldn't have stood up there. I didn't quite mean to do that, but. Maybe he will be okay. Doesn't seem like they're gonna lose track of us. Is that gonna scare them when they already know I'm here? Seems doubtful. I think we're gonna have to redo this.
I'll let that bat thing be somebody else. He's coming.
Yeah, more guns. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. But the whole, I mean, I feel the same way about the current Marvel movies. Like, anytime they move away from the way things look or are in the comics in favor of something that's supposedly more believable or grounded, or I'm typically never a big fan of that.
I don't know, man. I might have had enough.
You always say that.
I'm not a big fan of
I'm out of here.
What, the market?
like the bat suit, the costume. I don't like this version of the Batmobile, or like the whatever Batwing thing in the third movie.
I'm not getting
And I don't like I feel like I wish in the Marvel movies even they're obviously a lot more colorful and comic booky in many ways. And the stories and characters are great, but like some of the costumes I feel like are a little more.
Help! He's here.
Nope, I'm out of here. I think they know where I am. Well, whatever. Marvel has fully embraced the comics now. No, but I mean, I don't think they've more embraced them now than 5 or 10 years ago. But it's like Captain America is a character I love in the comics, and I love him in the movies. But I've never been in love with any of his costumes in the movie. They've not all been bad, but none of them has been perfect. And many of the characters got like these kind of plastic armor or military fatigue-esque, I'm not a huge fan of Spider-Man's. I definitely don't like his Iron Man costume, but even the first costume that he had, the design of it with the black strips is kind of yeah. But the way it actually looks like superhero tights, and even they did stuff digitally to make it even more, weirdly not real, but the way it looks in the comics, that I loved, and I would love to see more of that. I think some of the costume design that they've done is great, but it's so rare to see stuff that feels there's always, even, you know, even when it's done well, there always seems to be that, like, reluctance, I guess, to go, like, full comic book. Oh, okay, I tried to gadget that. It didn't quite work. But at least, like, in these movies, I can take it as, like I said, like, it's kind of a novel, different approach. I didn't quite mean to switch target there. And that has its own value, but the novelty of that, to me, wears off pretty quickly. I really liked Heath Ledger's Joker. I think it's, like, it's a take on the character that I think fits in well with the universe of that movie, and is just an entertaining and interesting take on its own. But I would absolutely not say that it's the, you know, I don't think anything in the Nolan movies, or in any of the movies, is like the definitive version of anything. Kind of wish they did something like Batman and Robin again, nipple armor included. That's I like that movie, and I love the look of that movie. Like, the art direction in that movie is kind of crazy. And yeah, like, for what they are, I enjoy those costumes a lot. And it's a very colorful and crazy, over-the-top universe, like in that movie. Oops. It's not to say that, I mean, it's a stupid-ass movie, but I think it's very entertaining, and like I said, I like the look of it. But I like that Batman, like, that's, I don't know, we keep coming back to that in all these streams, you know, that I like there being all these different takes on Batman.
On that. Falcone likes keeping that door locked. Anything to keep a messy business at least a little discreet. You can get through with the digits 1024. Burn this once you've memorized the code. We don't want it getting around.
Yeah, don't worry about that. You know, I'm the only person in the universe that liked the movie. That's not entirely true, but I think it's much maligned. I mean, I didn't like it when I first saw it. I thought, like, man, this is really stupid. But and it is, undeniably. But it's entertaining. It's fun. I vastly prefer Batman and Robin over Batman Forever, which I think is bizarrely, like, remembered as a good movie. It's weird how seemingly in people's minds, like, in general, of the two Schumacher movies, Batman Forever is the good one and Batman and Robin the bad one, when, like, they pretty much have the same faults to a large degree, though I feel like the plot in Batman Forever is, like, more kind of nonsensical. The villains are, like, way worse. Like, Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones just trying to out-obnoxious each other. It's a fucking mess. And even, like, the villains kind of kill themselves. Batman doesn't really do much. He just throws 50 coins at Two-Face so that he jumps off a ledge and kills himself. It's pretty dumb. It's very dumb, actually. Batman Robin has the bad credit card. The goth card. Yeah, like, I mean, it's full-on, like, goofy, funny camp. And, like I said, like, the story, like, it's basically a kind of worse version of the animated series Mr. Freeze episode, with, like, Poison Ivy and Bane kind of thrown in. And yeah, those characters aren't great. But none of the characters, I feel, are nearly as offensively obnoxious as Jim Carrey's Riddler, who is, like, just the worst in my book. I mean, I was never a huge Jim Carrey fan, Even then, I probably would have found him a little embarrassing. But if you watch that movie now, like it's kind of shocking, like how he's just like he's doing his Jim Carrey bit, and like that's it. I've always liked the Riddler, but Jim Carrey's version is like, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a yikes for me. Is there a crate here somewhere that we saw from below? Oh, it's gonna be inside here. But this was locked, right? Not even locked, you just can't get it. Batman Forever, the right amount of cheese, Batman chokes itself with it. I don't know. I kind of disagree.
If I may, Master Bruce, the heat and force resistance of your body armor does have its limits.
You're telling me not to blow up anything I'm sitting on top of?
Precisely, sir.
Alright, well, let's not sit on top of it when we blow it up then.
I think Flash knows he's in over his head. Flash has been dirty since.
I mean, I don't
He knows how the game is played.
hate Jim Carrey,
Falcone's down.
but I think he's operating on like full obnoxious levels in Batman Forever.
On top of everything else. Gotham's always been a sewer. Yeah.
Not to the benefit of the movie in any way, really. And then Tommy Lee Jones, like his Two-Face is just pretty terrible. Like, Tommy Lee Jones is always going to be watchable. Like, he's never going to be unwatchable, but the way he plays the character is weird. Like, there is no duality to him. He's just, like, doing his impression of Jack Nicholson's Joker, and that's kind of it. And there's, like... Yeah, like I said, like, the Riddler is a character that I've always liked, and I don't really get his version of the character, which, like, seems... I don't know. Okay, so we're supposed to blow that thing up. But I don't want these pipes to fall on me. Well, try it, I guess. Mission failed. Okay, well. Let's try something else. Yeah, I didn't watch the Sonic trailer, though, but from the stills I've seen, I think he looks great. It's not a movie I have a lot of interest in, I gotta say, but I think it's probably fair to say that Jim Carrey is the most interesting looking part of that movie at this point. But who knows? I don't know. I mean, it's probably never going to be a movie for me, really, but we'll see. I don't have very strong opinions on it either way. Where was it? All right, the chain. Whoa! All right, we got some chain physics here. Is there anything up here? I forget. Health kit or something? Which didn't replenish when I died? That's weird. I think the Sonic design is terrible, but it's like, oh, I never went... Oh, okay. I probably don't want to go down there, though.
You're telling me not to blow up anything I'm sitting on top of?
So that means I probably shouldn't go up... Whoa, did you see Batman's eyeballs right there?
In over his head. Flash has been dirty since forever. He knows how the game is played. Things been shook up, though. Falcone's down. This mysterious doctor's suddenly stirring the pot. And we got whatever that...
Can't get him to freeze on the eyeballs, I guess.
Else. Gotham's always been a sewer. Yeah, maybe. Getting a lot stranger, though.
Okay, so I think there are some gun dudes there. But yeah, so let me... anyway, to summarize the Batman Forever thing, like, I mean, yes, if you're a huge fan of Jim Carrey, I could see getting enjoyment out of seeing that, you know. But at the same time, me not liking him in the role or his performance isn't really because of that, or it's at least there's more to it than that. Okay. Grapple. But I don't know how much more I can say about it. I think Batman and Robin is fun. But I mean, maybe my favorite Batman movie is the '66 one. Because again, it's just silly, goofy fun. Like, is it the best movie? Yeah, maybe not. I don't know how we quantify that exactly. But it's entertaining. And I think forever of the 4 80s, 90s movies, for my money, Batman Forever is the one with like the worst entertainment to annoyance factor. Alright, Norip, peace out. I'm probably going to wrap up fairly soon here, too. I've actually been going longer than I expected, as always. But I didn't want to end mid-level here. I figured I would at least complete this level, which then, of course, ended up being way longer than... Aha, so now I can get off of this platform, and from here I can blow that stuff up, I imagine. Yeah, Cesar Romero is great. Like, all of the villains... I mean, that's the version... The Frank Gorshin Riddler is, like, the Riddler I first fell in love with when I was a kid. Like, I grew up on reruns of the 60s Batman. And the Riddler was always my favorite villain in that show.
What do we do? We'll be all right. Just stay calm. Stay calm? Did you see what happened? We've got the boss on our side.
Alright.
Stay away from me. I mean...
Vault. I'm trying. Alright. Weird that we get tutorials still. Also, we're fucking dying here. That was a weird... Alright, okay. We're almost dead here. I really want to get the... There's a Blu-ray set of the 60s Batman show that I really want to get, but it's like really expensive. Same with the animated series set. They're like... I mean, that one is like even more expensive, but for what it is, I want to say... The 60s show is like maybe 60-something bucks. And I would think the animated series one is like 100 or something. I mean, not like egregiously super expensive, but I'm kind of used to picking up Blu-rays here and there on a whim for like, you know, less than 10 euros per movie or something like that. So suddenly when we get into those kinds of price ranges, it's harder to justify those real like impulse purchases. I'm gonna hack this, or nope. Oh, okay, we got a staircase going here, I guess. Kind of cool.
How did that happen?
Did you do that?
Why would I be asking if I did that?
I thought we were supposed to be the only ones up here. I don't like this, man.
Does this guy in the jacket have a gun? I think so. Alright, can we hack this? Probably gonna hack this. Yeah, I knew it. Panel hacked. Aha.
Van stopped. There's definitely somebody in there.
Why don't you go check?
Me? You're the one with a gun.
Exactly. And I'm telling you to go have a look.
Get that, man. What if it's that bat thing? I'd rather get shot.
I'm calling for help. If there's enough of us, we can...
I like how the thugs are all like pretty unique looking. Like any of these thugs that we get to see dialogue of, all have like unique models. That's pretty cool. It's not like the same 2 or 3 thugs that we see repeated. Like maybe for some of these dudes who would just fight and don't get like a cutscene of or anything. But that's kind of cool. Where are those guys? Oh, right there. Okay. Fuck. Well, there's a little bit of area fear. Ouch. Okay, that's probably not what we were supposed to do. Maybe I should have just booked it. Maybe I could have made it through that. I didn't realize. I thought they were right around, like, in that open area. So I didn't realize... basically, I thought that if I stepped into the room, I'd be immediately discovered. By the time I realized that they weren't there, they just came back there. So I guess we can try that. So before we do anything, let's just survey the room a little bit. So I think it's the... Yeah, see, the left one's already stopped. So it's got to be the left one.
I thought we were supposed to be the only ones up here. I don't like this.
This is left. All right, this is the one that we need to get into. So they're all the way on the other side of the room. Let's get this first. It's not a very generous health refill, I gotta say. Oh, gotta hack it again. Oh, fuck. Oh, okay, you get your try it. That's nice. So let's just book it over there and see if we can make it through before they're back.
Van stopped. There's definitely somebody in there.
Can't skip it, of course. See, that's 2005.
Exactly. And I'm telling you to go have a look.
Get that, man. What if it's that bat thing?
Even the facial animation is like not bad.
I'm calling for help.
I'm continually impressed with the visuals in this game. Like the shadows look pretty great. Like, yeah, there we go. I guess that's what the little camera picture-in-picture thing is for, to like let you know that this place is like kind of unguarded. Place, I mean the van thing. Man, this is a pretty long stage. Like,
I know you're not stupid.
oh, hey, there he is.
Just crazy. You watch what's going on.
Yeah, I like to watch.
Oh shit, Victor's
What are
ass.
you doing? Who's he working for?
Crane's not my business.
I could make him your
See, that's one more villain appearance than we
Back in Arkham.
I've already
expected.
got business, detective.
What's that?
You.
I have no idea if he's in the movie, but I don't think so.
Which of us is holding a gun? Which of us chained to the damn wall? I'm not scared.
We're talking before starting the game where they're like, yeah, obviously Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow is in this movie, but there might be more villains in the game that may or may not be in the movie, and yeah, Zaz would be a good example of that. I don't think I can get up there without being seen, can I? Surely those dudes have eyes and can see out this window.
You know, I got connections in Arkham.
Oh, okay.
Things real uncomfortable when you're back.
And when I say surely, I guess maybe not.
Got no idea what's inside Arkham.
Who are you protecting, Zaz? Somebody got you scared?
Don't make me laugh.
Then why aren't you talking?
Get up
What's
here?
it take to spook a psychopath?
Oh, we can get up here.
I think I've got your scent, detective. You're ripe with fear.
Alright, alright, alright.
Or maybe
Oh, now we
that's
can
the
batarang.
smell of the slaughterhouse swine.
Ah, so we're gonna just scare the shit out of them, huh?
Piggy, waiting for the knife.
Scare slash kill the shit out of them, I guess.
What? What? Somebody's trying to kill us?
Calm the hell down.
Whoop! Whoa! I double jumped onto this thing.
Look out, Flash.
Ah, get him away!
Probably should have used another gadget. All right, let's try the flashbang maybe. We need to.
You're trembling, detective. I can't.
Flash is like ultra scared. That's pretty cool.
Don't be scared, Flash. Come over here. I'm going to take care of
Oh, hello. Oh. Bonk. Let's just stomp on his spine.
Don't let him kill you. Leave that for me. Oh, detective. This is gonna be some sweet hell.
That's pretty cool.
Don't hurt me.
Why would I? That's what Zaz is.
Well, I don't think you make fallen enemies actually exist. Everything like fades out immediately.
Yes, slowly.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
And I don't want to have to watch him.
Dude, even the hair like looks.
So I hope you're feeling talkative.
What do you want to know?
Like, yeah, this is really nice looking. Dude, yeah, I can't believe how good this game looks.
Shipment in two. Only half of it was drugs. What was the rest?
Got a chemical. Something hidden. It goes to the Narrows.
Oh, yeah.
An Arkham doctor. His name's Crane. Jonathan Crane.
There we go. Learning some plot.
What's the chemical?
I don't know. I swear to God.
Swear to me. Where is Crane?
There we go.
The Narrows.
Swear to me.
I don't know where the doctor is, but the toxin's being relayed from the abandoned science museum. If you find the chemical shipment, you can find Crane.
All right. Joke slam. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Yep, we got him. Okay. So we got Jonathan Crane's name, and we are gonna go pay him a visit, I guess. I'm still not sure if I guess we are in some sort of flashback still, because the first stage we are chasing Crane. So because we did that, and then it was 1 year ago in the Himalayas, and then it was 7 days ago, and then it was like 1 day ago. So we're just about to catch up with where the game started. And I guess that makes this as good a place as any to wrap things up for tonight. I'm gonna pause the timer right there. Almost 3 hours, damn. I streamed about maybe an hour longer than expected, but yeah, I'm super enjoying this game. Like I'm so happy that it's. Honestly, I feel like I want to say that it's better than I remember it. Probably because I get to appreciate so many things about this game in relation to the games that came before it in a way that I didn't at the time, because I never played those other Batman games. But also, coming back to it, not just, I don't just have the context of the other games, but I get to see what this game did in relation to every, game around the same time and after. And this just feels like such a quantum leap in terms of many things, to be honest. Visuals, obviously, but also like the, relatively frequent checkpoints, auto-targeting, just like small quality of life things. The combat's pretty good. The story is like way better than most games, even the ones that maybe had more story to them. And I don't know. I'm really, really enjoying this. I don't know how long the game is. I don't know if we'll wrap it up next stream or if it'll take multiple streams. I'm not sure, but we will continue this before too long, I'm sure. I'm enjoying this, so I'll be jonesing to get back to it for sure. But thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Always fun to have chat around. So, as always, I appreciate everyone watching. Stay tuned for whatever I host as I go offline, I guess. And don't forget to keep an eye on my Twitter or Discord or whatever if you need info on upcoming streams and whatnot. Take it easy, guys, and yeah, catch you next time. Thanks for watching.